Well, there goes the neighborhood. Good morning, everybody. Welcome on this long Thanksgiving weekend in 2022. The technical date is November 26th, 2022, but it's really, it's the Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend. And very thankful to be here doing a brand new edition of this show. It's called Dave's Gone By, featuring me, Dave Lefkowitz. My wonderful wife Joyce may or may not make an appearance, depending on how busy she is today, since we did the last 2 or 3 days not really doing much work. But either way, I'm here with you doing the program, which we're calling Give Thanksing. So it's sort of a reversal. The last couple of days for Thanksgiving. Now we're done with that. It's not Black Friday and it's not or Cyber Monday. It's sort of that in-between thing. So we'll call this Saturday Give Thanksing, because we're giving thanks to still being here, still doing the show, still having you guys tune in on Facebook every Saturday from 9 until noonish or thereabouts to watch this program. So yeah, gosh, a couple of things to talk about. Then we, of course, have our Really Crimes and Old Times segment, which comes to you not from the Greeley Tribune, but because we steal the stories from the Greeley Tribune, and our Today, Yesterday trivia quiz, with whom we will be joined. That's really bad grammar. We will be joined by some of our favorite people, and those include Vicky Quaddy, Leslie Hoban Blake, and our theater critic friend, Eva Heineman, all joining us live a little later in the program to play the weekly trivia quiz. And if that weren't enough, and as David Letterman would say, Josh, I think it ought to be, but we also, of course, have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we go to Otis, Colorado. And no, it's not some elevator in a building, and it's not a toilet somewhere in Colorado. It is an actual place called Otis, Colorado. I've written a poem about it, and I'm going to share it with you. All that and more on this 872nd episode of the show. Let's do what I almost never do. I'm going to play the opening theme, if it will play. Let's find out.
There goes the neighborhood. And there was much rejoicing.
Didn't your meds kick in yet?
You got David Lefkowitz here. He's a Long Island Arts guy. He's got his own radio show.
I want you all to really enjoy a wonderful program done by a fine artist.
Glorious thing of unparalleled beauty.
Dave's Gone By. Dave is one of my very favorite broadcasters, so keep on listening to Mr. Dave.
Oh, thank you so much, Joe Franklin, there for the very kind words, the late and great Joe Franklin. But anyway, I'm not Joe Franklin, I'm Dave Lefkowitz, and this is the program that we do, which mixes humor and nuttiness and zaniness and pointlessness, just to get you through your typical, even your atypical Saturday morning. So I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you had a fine holiday, whether you were with friends and doing all sorts of insane things to a turkey, because nobody can just roast a turkey anymore, right? I mean, people do. And then I'm sure it's what millions of people do. You take a turkey, you put it in the oven, you baste it with some stuff, you make sure to pull out the bag. I remember I was working in a place where one of my coworkers, this is years ago, was giving a Thanksgiving holiday thing for family and friends, and had like 30 people coming to Thanksgiving dinner. And she was so proud. And then they had the stuffing and they had pie ready and they had this, and she made this turkey, and then she was sort of baste it like 5 times an hour and get all the good spices and herbs on it, and just turn it and looking at this and this and pulls it out. And then something at the table as they're eating and saying how delicious it is, right? So it kind of is cutting it and getting to the nitty gritty of the bird, and pulls out this sort of black sodden bag. And it's like, what is this? And it was that moment when her heart just sank to her feet. And she realized she had left in the giblet bag inside the turkey while it was cooking the whole time. And now, even though it tasted fine, even though nobody got sick or anything like that, the mental image of their eating something that was sort of, plastic inside it, and the whatever toxins and fumes were in the giblets bag, were just pervading this turkey that had been in the oven, probably all day for 5-6 hours on low, which is how you do it, right? And so it's just in the bag. We don't think about this because most of the time now we throw things in the microwave in plastic containers covered by plastic, and it's just plastic. You get frozen meals, these ethnic frozen food dishes, palak paneer and benihana, beef a la tojo or something. I'm sorry, I'm tired. It's a long weekend. But and it says, peel back the film. Well, what the hell is the film? It's first it cooks under plastic, then you peel a little bit of the plastic back so it has room to breathe, so it doesn't just explode and implode. And then peel off the whole plastic. Meanwhile, it's cooking still underneath in a plastic dish. So our idea of the scariness of plastic cooking with food probably has changed and morphed over the last 35 years or so. But still, that image of being around the table, everybody having a wonderful time, everybody complimenting, because you have to do this, you compliment the host on how fantastic the meal is. And it's like, it's like pulling the aborted baby out of the mom late. She's already back home. They couldn't find it when she was on the table. And so I was like, what's this? But where was I going with it? Well, I hope you had a fine Thanksgiving, right? We went with friends who made some terrific meals and terrific food and turkey. There was the requisite turkey. And I think, though, the friends we were with, they were like, there's a new thing. They're covering the turkey with mayonnaise. And I literally, I think I had a repulsive jolt, hoping that that's not what they did this time. I think they did, they didn't know, but it's sort of like, okay, we all got over the shock and I guess I would say excitement when they started making turkeys with Coca-Cola. Remember that? Remember when you first heard about that 30 years ago? When they said, we have a pressure cooker and we put the turkey in there and we just fill the pressure cooker with cans of Coca-Cola. And guess what? And everybody's like, are you out of your mind? But then the wheels turn and you realize, let's see, it's sweet. Okay, it's moist, it's cola, it's mostly water, and caramel color and bubbly. So maybe that makes the thing even more moist and airy and light. So you're putting the bubbles in the turkey. Can you all say that with me? You're putting the bubbles in the turkey. I love the word bubble. You put the bubbles in the turkey. And I'm doing it well today. Bubbles. I'm sorry. And you put that, and the caramel color is basting the bubbles. It's basting the bird plus the bubbles. And it's making the nice rich color and apparently also, I guess if it's a cooker or something, it can probably also make it crispy, right? So moist underneath, crispy on the top, just what you want from a Thanksgiving bird. And we all got used to that really quick. Not only did we get used to it quickly, everybody wanted to do it. Like maybe not that Thanksgiving, but the next one is like, I'm gonna pour some Coca-Cola in there. I've been doing wine or yeah. But mayonnaise, man, there's something I don't know. I think just the look of the raw bird, it's probably fine. Really, really is, But something about taking that white skin, not skinless, skin on floppy bird thing with this and no head, and then smearing it down with this white goopy Hellman's Craft mayonnaise. And how that would look before, it's probably cooks fine, probably tastes fine or really good or better, who knows? But something vaguely, disturbingly, sexually awful about covering a raw turkey or chicken. I guess if you can do it with turkey, do it with chicken with I'm not going to do it. Maybe I would do like if I have an air fryer, but if I do the crock pot, I might do like one side, like take a turkey or big old chicken, and the rest of it do with normal stuff, like just spices and stuff and honey on it, definitely honey and orange slices and so forth. But then just take I think I'll take a drumstick, one little drumstick, and coat it with mayonnaise. And by the way, of course, in a crock pot, it's everything's going to get mished up in the first half hour anyway. But still, I want to have the bravery, the guts to try, or don't I? I'm not sure. I'm not phobic about things, but I am afraid of things like, loud noises and gunshots and bees. So, am I afraid of putting mayonnaise on the side of a bird? I might well be. Check with me a year from today and we'll see how that goes. Speaking of gunshots, very, very go figure. So one of those go figure mornings. So I always check the news before I come on here because you never know what there's going to be to talk about, what's new in the world. I don't want to suddenly get on the air, right, and then be talking at you and say, oh, Michigan fell into the sea. Not that Michigan ever could fall into, but here I am yambling away at you. And it's, hey, did you hear about Michigan? No, Detroit doesn't sound like a wonderful. Oh yeah, it's gone. I probably should have checked the Associated Press on that this morning. Thank you. So I check. I do a little thing, and the big story of the New York Post on its digital front page is that thieves went into a store and stole what was in the store. Now the store it was in, and this is my life, right? New York Post is supposed to be about New York, right? Or if there's a big story, if there's a shooting at the University of Virginia, they'll cover Virginia, or those kids who were stabbed in Boise, Idaho, they'll go there. Or if Donald Trump is doing something stupid, giving some dumb speech out in Georgia, they'll go follow him there because now suddenly out of the blue for the past few weeks, New York Post hates Donald Trump after licking his ass for 4 years. Okay, fine, whatever. But we just out of the blue, open the New York Post, and the first story is from Maryland, which is where Joyce and I live, and close enough to where we were this Thanksgiving, which was borderline Maryland, Washington, D.C. We were close to like Chevy Chase, which apparently isn't real. Apparently Chevy Chase is just sort of a neighborhood, and they call it Chevy Chase, Maryland, but it's still part of whatever's down there, Fairfield, somehow, some F word in Maryland. But in Rockland, Maryland, gun thieves over Thanksgiving break went into a gun store. And guess what they did? They stole guns. And they did this overnight. And they did it because, you figure, well, how? I don't understand this about. They were able to just smash through, probably in a Humvee tank sort of vehicle, smashed into the business, and apparently got away with quote unquote long guns. Why long guns are more dangerous than a gun? Still, I still don't get that. Okay, so it's a longer barrel, maybe a little bit better aim, but basically, you can have the gun, you have the bullet coming from here, or you have the bullet coming from here. It's kind of the same trajectory, kind of the same velocity, kind of the same bullet, bubble. I'm just gonna do that all day, bubble. So, but what I don't get is, like, if you're a jewelry store, and I'm human, so it's very tough for me to be a jewelry store, but we own a jewelry store. I don't know what happens. Let's say you close at 7 o'clock at night. You're in the Diamond District on 47th Street in New York. And so 7 o'clock closing time, I assume it's 6:30. I don't know how much of the stuff goes away. Like, do they literally take every single item off the shelves and open the big safe and it all goes in there? You don't leave anything out. Or is it you do this day after day after day after day? Do the owners say, look, we're in a pretty safe neighborhood. We've got lock on the door. We've got an alarm system. We take all the quality stuff, all the heirloom stuff. And of course, every day that goes in the vault, and most of it stays there unless a customer literally requests we bring something out. But the $50, $180, $300 rings and watches and lockets and baubles and bangles and beads and bubbles, those stay, okay? Or do they not? Or literally does everything get wiped clean? I don't recall. It's been so long since I've walked down. The Garment District, they have these pull down things anyway. So when they close, they they close. But I wonder about local jewelry stores and things like that. How diligent are they about making sure that everything they got, everything goes into the safe at night and impenetrable unless you have a combination or unless you have dynamite, or unless you're the fella David Niven trying to steal the Pink Panther, unless that. So I wonder this then about guns. Like if you have a gun store and you cater to people, of course, you've got a safe. And I imagine your World War II howitzers and then your really expensive, valuable, not archive, what's the word I want, but these guns that are worth something historically, John Wilkes Booth semi-automatic, that's somewhere in a vault and stays there. But you keep your run-of-the-mill handgun, Glock, Mauser, 45, 22, whatever the hell. I don't follow guns, I don't know. Does literally every single one. Okay, guys, 20 minutes till closing, safe's open, boom, 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 lock it up. So like even if someone goes into the store, unless they're an employee who knew the combination of what's in the safe, what would be the point? You get a couple of bucks in the cash register, you could take some empty shelves with you, right? And maybe if there's a refrigerator, somebody's lunch, but you're not going to get away with long guns. So how does this happen? And what is the point of having alarm systems and safes and things like that if you can just sort of into a store like that? But at the same time, it's not like I feel bad for the owner of the gun store in Rockland, Virginia, because Rockland, Maryland, excuse me, because he's selling guns, right? So see, we already know that he's kind of, I wouldn't say on the side of the bad guys, but on the side of Second Amendment, like everybody should have one at all times, because we're all going to be so compass mentis when a shooting breaks out that we'll know exactly where the gunfire is coming from. We'll be able to find our thing, lock, load, point, aim, and not kill 10 bystanders while we're trying to protect ourselves and them, right? But I do feel bad in the sense of, what was he supposed to do? Right? You've got a store. I'm sure there were security cameras. I'm sure there's a safe. I'm sure there's monitoring alarm system, all of that, directly linked up to the police force. And whatever safety systems presumably they should have been following, they were. And yet who owns any kind of store is like, okay, we're secure, double locked, pull this down. And then it's like, oh, vehicle going probably 50 miles an hour, just go. And none of it matters, right? If people want what you got, I guess, in this world, they'll find a way to get it. But it was also this weird moment this morning of like waking up, checking the news and realizing that front page of the New York Post is not about, a shooting in Queens, which it invariably is. It's not about, DeSantis in Florida, who's going to be the next great white hope. And I certainly use that phrase advisedly. And it's not, no, it's Rockland, Maryland, which is, probably about 2 hours, or hour and a half from where we are, and maybe 10, 15 minutes from where we were yesterday. We're right on the DC Beltway. So that's the way, and it ties in with this theme I've been having over the past couple of weeks of like, there's nothing, and then it's everywhere. Have you noticed it? I'm sure you've noticed this, but nothing, everywhere. And I'm going through this. I've been going through this all semester in one of the classes I teach, because we're dealing with, and I did not design this course, believe me, but it's supposed to be about journey in the pandemic and into isolation and quarantine. It's like somebody literally designed a course for young college students first coming in, freshmen, and what do they want to learn about? The thing that's been making them miserable for the past 2.5 years and making all of us crazy and miserable, the pandemic. And they decide, oh, let's really study this in literature and have them write about it, because they haven't dealt with it enough in their personal lives. But I ended up having to take this class on midway, And so trying to follow on some level the curricula and the readings and things that were set aside for this. And in discussing this, I have brought up that we all remember January of 2020. I mean, they were in high school, but 2020, it was a ship. There was a ship that wasn't going to be allowed into the harbor. Why? Because there was some kind of Legionnaire's diseasey thingy on the ship. It wasn't really, it was like Legionnaire's Day. It was caught maybe through the air conditioning duct. Nobody knows, but there were people on the sick. No doctors couldn't figure out why. I guess Bernie Capel wasn't on that ship. And so rather than let it come into port, all these poor people just wanting a nice, finishing the end of their cruise, suddenly like, we can't get off the friggin' boat. And you felt it was kind of funny. I also felt bad for them and stuff. And then what? COVID? Coronavirus. Well, we know about SARS, because 10 years ago, you wouldn't get on one of those Chinese buses going from Port Authority to Philadelphia or to Baltimore or Washington because they were coming back with SARS. And people were dying in China, and Chinese people in New York, it was SARS. And nobody talks about SARS anymore, but it was, I guess, it was Corona is a SARS kind of a thing. So we went from that in what? Early January, late December, early January, to a month and a half later, like, oh, someone in California has, a couple of people in Florida have COVID. This person, suddenly there's the first instance in Norway. And then there's the first in 5 instances in Russia. And then it's of course it gets to New York. And then boom, 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 boom. And I also told the students, like, at that point, I was working in a library. You were hearing about COVID. And you were hearing, well, this is a little scary. And, a couple of old people have died, but it's a thing, and they're worried, and they're getting directives, I guess, from Fauci and the government. And so on a Wednesday afternoon, they come and they tell us, we're wiping things down. We're gonna take a long weekend, Thursday, Friday, closing, Saturday, Sunday closing. We're just gonna spray everything, clean it, disinfect, put up a couple of border things, so go home, have a nice long paid weekend away. This was mid-March of 2020, and I was like, really? Now, I wasn't upset about this. I was kind of, you mean I don't have to come to work for the next 2 days, all day? Oh, go ahead and clean. Here, I took stuff off my desk. I was like, here, go clean, spray, spritz, do what you gotta do. And it didn't occur to me the level of what America would be dealing with a week later. Right. Again, a month and 2 months and 3 months, the first few months of that disease. Because what happened was, they cleaned, they sprayed, they spritzed, and the library stayed closed for 3 months. Did not open back up. And when it did, it was a whole different world. It was sort of like no patrons in the library that wanted books that had like physically give it to them outside. Everything, when people would return carts of books, man, they would just take the cart instead of putting them back on the shelves. You literally put the cart in a room. You quarantined shelves of books. And because God knows what, fingers, who knew back then what we were dealing with? And for 72 hours, you weren't allowed to shelve or go near those books. And then there'd be another section of the room where after 72 hours were passed, you have a mask, you have gloves, and you're just going. It was a nutty freaking time. But that idea of going from like, what coronavirus, who's getting this? What is this? To, oh my God, someone we know is in a nursing home. God knows, their friend got it, they're probably going to die. And just the whole world goes boom. Now, on a happier note, because this is old news, we've all lived through this. We all know this. On a happier note, of the same thematic idea, what have I been telling you about for the past month or so? What has grabbed my attention besides bubbles? I'm just gonna say bubbles. Speaking of bubbles in the water, right? I've been saying that somewhere on some feed or on something, I heard or saw the word axolotl, axolotl. And it's fun to say, it's not as fun to say as bubbles, bubbles, but axolotl, because it's got that glottal sound from Mexican, like Xochimilco. Don't you love that one? Tenochtitlan. So axolotl. And then you look at the thing, and we showed it to you last week and probably the week before of this cross between a salamander, of course, among a salamander, a frog, and a fish. And it's got this big kind of round face with a salamandery frog-like body, but it's also got these weird, goofy, vestigial fin wings on it. I was like, what the hell is this? I was so intrigued because it was cute, but also weird, which, that's right up my alley. So when I started reading about this, and apparently nobody cared about these things until it got big in Minecraft or some game that all the youngins were playing back in the day. So everybody's playing, and now they're all the kids, those folks are talking about axolotls, and they have the digital axolotl that's scooping up things like Lady Pac-Man. I don't know how the game works. And so I read about this, and then I see them. And of course, I start torturing Joyce, my wife, with it. I was axolotl. I say the word, 150 times a day just to get under her skin. Axolotl. And I want one because apparently they're not that difficult to breed in captivity. You get a fish tank, you keep it reasonably clean, and you get the right food for them. And apparently they're not even omnivorous, they're like carnivorous. If you cut off your finger, they eat the thing, as cute as they are. But they love worms, and they'll eat insects, and they'll eat chopped meat. And it's all good for them. This is it's what they are. So, and their range, if you send away for one and you already have a tank, they start at like $30-40. And then if you want a particular gorgeous color, they range into the 200 level. So it's not like they're free. It's not like a goldfish, 20 cents from but still, and apparently they thrive, they do pretty well. And if you breed them accidentally, if you get a couple of axolotls in a tank, they're just gonna, forget rabbits, they're gonna go to town and just make, which is the irony of all this, apparently, about axolotls, is that they're getting scarce a bit in the wild, and yet there's tons of them domestically of people breeding and having these things as pets. I'm not sure how that works, how they can be so plentiful. Okay, so just go from your fish tank and dump them in the local pond and you'll have axolotls. I don't know how that ecosystem stuff works, but this idea again of, so I'm like torturing my wife, axolotl, I'm looking at axolotl, and she never heard of it. And a week earlier, I had never heard of it, but I'm talking about it, I'm looking about it, I'm reading some stuff about it, right? And then not really thinking much of it, but then I'm like, maybe it's in the toyosphere. The F.A.O. Schwartz, Toys R Us sphere. Do they make, and suddenly you start, they do make an axolotl this, a little cute little axolotl, fine. But you gotta go find them on eBay, Amazon, wherever. And then where was I? And this was only about 4 weeks ago. We're shopping at a place like 5 and Under, I think it's called, where everything, at least before the pandemic, the idea was that items were $5 and under. Now they're not. Now it's like $5.99 and sometimes slightly up. So they're not even telling the truth about that, but you can still find items for $5. And I'm in there and I'm looking for like slippers, right? And I'm looking for, I don't know, maybe a pound of snacks. Snacks are not cheap there, so don't get them. But and wandering around, and they have books, right? Whole row of books, $5 long. And I see, and I absolutely, honest to God, rubbed my eyes. I went, because among the books, there was a children's coloring book with, how they do it. They have a coloring book and they have a set of markers that you can, markers is a nice little set, nice little gifty thing for a kid. And it was coloring axolotls. how did this get out? How did it go from something that I literally had never, ever, ever heard of to being something, oh yeah, there's the kids' coloring book about axolotls. Like, no. And it honestly meant that I was out of the loop more than anything else. Because if that kid goes, oh, it was the Minecraft thing, probably their older brother was playing this, and then they saw it and they went, so fine. And then Joyce and I talked about this last time. We're at the student bookstore where we teach and just wanting to browse. I had not, and all this time, not been in the university bookstore for our university. So I wanted to take a look. I wanted to say, all college bookstores now are essentially alike, and they all are about 15% actual books and 85% merchandise. That's what they are. It's basically, where are the books? Where are the books? Oh, they're over there. Forget the textbooks. All the textbooks are online. Forget it. Just here's a few rows of books. Take a look, and half of them are like 50 sort of fun books and things like that. And the rest really is T-shirts, mugs, baubles, bangles, beads, and bubbles. So we're poking through this bookstore, and I don't know if my wife saw it, we both mutually saw it at the same time, but I was like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. And they have, one of these nice things, they're cheap. So student like, oh, this is cute. I'll put this on the end of a pencil. We find these on a tray, a bin of axolotls, little rubber, very cute, very adorable axolotls. And we're like, yeah, okay, yep. The world has gone crazy. This thing, again, that neither of us had known about, and now, do you want to, and they had a couple of different colors. There's also a yellow one, I think. And then they had other animals. They had like a rhinoceros and a zebra thing and all these finger puppets. But I'm like, how did the world have axolotls? And I'm looking around just trying to clear my head of this when I notice a bin of plushies, squishy toys, which are the in thing among little kids. And I understand why. They're these cute, squeezable, like marshmallowy things, which are wonderful. I know when we were all growing up, or people older than I am and stuff, you get this cute thing that you would put in bed and sleep with a child. And it was fine, except like the eyes were hard, and then the nose was like rubbery, and the thing, they were soft, they were cute. It was nice to sleep with your little panda bear, or what else did they used to? The teddy bears, and your little Teddy Ruxpin. I don't think that was a bear. Well, but but now suddenly it's basically giving you one giant squish, which is adorable, great, wonderful, love it. And I'm looking at these things, and invariably they're just these bloated, obese, elongated versions of everything from, polar bears to cute elephants with big faces and stuff. And then I see, literally, because I can tell from the wings, and we showed this last time. And here he was, right? And I was like, you're kidding me. I am a squishable. He is a squishable. And he's very obviously an axolotl. And I looked at my wife, and my wife looked at me and said, no, it can't possibly. Of course it is. Of course, here they are, the vestigial, which, by the way, makes him much less squishable. If I were a child, like a 4-year-old, and I had this in the bag, I would be like, and suddenly this thing would be in my face. I'm like, the kid pokes his eye out in the morning. There's some mom and dad are like, oh, it was a toy. But we look at this and like, no, we're just getting these stupid little things. We're not getting the stupid big thing. And of course, later in the week, my wife is near the university bookstore, goes in, sees it, buys me a present, grabs it for me. And now we have, of course, this axolotl. Fine. University kids are hip. They've been playing Minecraft since high school. I kind of get it. I do, why they would be there, why that would be a thing. And then, oh man, and then we're at, and I don't remember, I think it was Home Goods, or it might have been Kohl's, or some TJ Maxx derivative place. And we're walking around, and we're looking at stuff, you know, so it's the week of Black Friday. And looking, you know, we were just going down the aisles because we're looking for bedding things. We have a house that we moved into 3 months ago. We still need stuff for the house. So we're going up and down looking for, you know, little throw rugs and stuff. And we pop by the kids area, mainly folks, as insane as this may sound, because I'm looking for pajamas. And I can't find, oh, this is a whole other topic. I can't find a decent set of pajamas, ladies and gentlemen. How the hell has this world evolved, right? To the point where they're making self-driving cars and they can't make me a pair of pajamas that I want to wear. What's wrong with the world? I'll get to that. But that's the reason we're in sort of the big boys area, because I'm thinking maybe in the teenage boy section, unlike Michael Jackson, who would roam around there for different reasons, you know, hey, little boys' pants, half off. I'm actually looking for pants mostly on of boy sizes, so I won't be stepping all over them. I'm 5'2". But we go into and we zip past the toy things. I'm like, no. Yes. More squishable axolotls. And of course, since this is like a Kohl's-y or a Home Goods place, they're half the price of what they were in the bookstore, right? And I'm just like, we're not going to get on this turnstile. We're not getting on this carousel. Choices is looking at me going, no, because hey, babe, you want to come in? Oh, no, you're not going to be on camera. But filling up her tea. But I'm like, because we had them in the cart. Oh, I would love one. Thank you very much. We took 2 of them, and we had them in the cart as we're going through the store, and like, because they were actually a cute, reasonable price these days for a kid's toy. And then a squish, and they were squishy and they were cute. And I'm like, axolotls, 2 of them. I know different colors. Like one was a pink one, so we'd gotten a friend for him or her. And then there was a blue one, it was really nice. And then I think what broke us, what broke me really, is that at the same time, in the same bin, was a plush, big bottle of ketchup. And you guys who have watched this show for 20 years, literally 20 years, know about my potato fetish. And that potatoes, of course, eat ketchup incessantly. This is what they eat. This is, besides the occasional butter on holidays, this is all they eat. They eat ketchup. And here we could get them a plush, big ketchup bottle. Oh! And, you know, to make these decisions as a grown-up, I have a cart with 2 plush axolotls and a plush ketchup in it. Can't have all 3. I mean, we just bought a house where we just bought a car. I mean, on payments and all, and everything else, and we're getting settled in our jobs, and I don't make that much money, but so it's not right to spend even this kind of money. Is not terribly expensive. Even this kind of money on 3 different toys, and then kind of the rationalization that I made was, you know what, we want to keep our house kind of neat-ish and pristine-ish, because I'm Jewish, and we don't want it to get overloaded with tchotchkes and stuff. We're already bringing in, you know, a lot of potatoes. They're going to be in their own special place. My wife demanded before we moved. She's like, you're not bringing 400 potatoes to our new house and putting them all over the house. Because A, I will divorce you. B, I'll kill you first, then I'll divorce you. So it was sort of like, okay, hon, you know, happy life. Yep, no. We have been bringing in some potatoes. They're all kind of in the same place. And, and the house isn't particularly furnished yet, so if there's, gun store thieves who think you can get away with a lot of crap. This is not the house to rob, believe me. But we do have a few things, a few rooms that we want to keep nice. And so she's like, no. And now we're looking at these things, we're getting this. And then 2 more like him and a big old ketchup bottle. And I look at Joyce and I'm like, you know what? Let's be grown-ups. For once now, let's be big about this. And first I take out the ketchup bottle. I was like, it's not that well. It was looking kind of raggy and gross and, misstuffed because it was like nicely packed at the top and kind of, a little mad at the bottom, wrinkly in the middle. I'm like, this is not a particularly well-made toy. Probably why it was on clearance and probably why it was only like 10, 12 bucks. So I'm like, this stays. And we're on the line. And we still have the 2 axolotls in the car. You know what? Let's be real grown up about it. If ketchup can't come, we're good with 1 little axolotl. It's okay. Because, since we've been married, and I think most couples are like this, anytime we got 1 thing, it was never enough to have 1, because you want to pair things up. We have 1 dog, and we were both working late hours, and we said, well, gotta get another dog, so the dogs are together. And then, whenever we got some stupid little cute thing or toy or plush thing, so we can't have 1. I mean, lonely, needs 1 of its kind. So, of course, it went a little apeshit with potatoes, but, we didn't get just 1 axolotl, we got 2 of the finger puppets. A couple of things like that, where we made sure, friend. And we're thinking, friend, maybe, friend for him, but we're like being big. And I emptied the cart. Not of the other stuff we actually needed for the house, and not of a couple of chocolate things that I have to have, but I was just like, okay. And I walked out of there, less financially depleted, a little sad, actually. But I felt like a big boy. I felt like I made one of the great crowning decisions of my life. I chose to take the high road. Doesn't mean I'll do it next time. Does not mean, if we go back to Kohl's, or if it's discounted, that I won't be on here in a week or 2 going, hey, look at our new axolotl. No, I can't promise that. At least for a week or so, I could look myself in the mirror or right in this camera and go, I didn't buy 1 or 2 axolotl. I didn't even buy the ketchups. I'm like a man now. I have done right by myself, and my wife and our house. Hey, let's show your arm. Here's Joyce's hand. Hey, hand.
Did you show the axolotl finger puppets?
Oh, I showed the axolotl finger puppets and the big and our plushie loggle. Yeah, we're starting the quiz in about 15 minutes. So cool. Anyway, all that. 45 minutes to tell this story. So that's this show. It's called Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling and adorable wife, Joyce, my handkerchief. Pardon me. And coming up later in the program, as I told you, a Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we go to Otis, Colorado. Otis, for a really disgusting, rude poem. And then, I could have done, now wait till she's back. Greeley Crimes and Old Times, when we talk about a couple of items that are in the newspaper from the Greeley Tribune, an actual paper in northern Colorado. And they have 2 stories. Well, I'll tell you. I say every week, most of you guys watch this, if not every single week. You tune in, you kind of watch, and say, oh, they're doing that again. Oh, I know. Please don't tell me what Greeley Crimes and Old Times is all. I know, but I still say it for everybody's benefit. And then our Today Yesterday quiz, as I just mentioned, with Vicky Quaddy, who is the co-creator of Late Night Catechism out in Chicago, except it's playing all over the universe. Also, theater critic Eva Heinemann from High Drama on Manhattan Cable TV, and also Facebook and YouTube channels near you, and Leslie Hoban Blake, who co-hosts 2 on the Aisle, the theater review show in New York that she does with our friend Charlie Gross. So it's going to be, I don't know if we've done this before. I don't know if we've had an all-female panel doing the today, yesterday quiz. When there's been more than two people, I know we've had two women playing it, but when we've had a third, a tray, if you will, and who wouldn't like a tray of women? Bubble, bubble, bubble. So this may be the very first time it's going to be a fascinating thing. Who will be the queen, or since we're in very different times, who will be the king? The they. Who will be the they king of the today, yesterday trivia quiz? Let's see what else is there to talk about. I mentioned Thanksgiving, mentioned the gun stores, mentioned axolotls, of course. Mentioned going down to hang with friends. We had a nice hike just two days ago with our friends down around like Falls Point something, Maryland, Virginia border thing. And it was nice to walk. It was a beautiful day, right? Just the great kind of weather, too cool to go without a jacket or something, but not so warm that you would schwitz and sweat from the walk. You just walk along and see crowds of people. I'm not a number of the crowd, but lots of people out enjoying, the pre-Thanksgiving day. And or it was even Thanksgiving, honestly. And really, we have a wonderful, I don't know, I'm trying to think if there's anything really interesting to say about that. We had a nice walk, and it was pretty, and there were falls, and there was just kind of followed a trail, and then we followed that trail back for probably 3/4 of a mile each way. And that was was there anything? Nothing funny happened. No, okay, I'm not gonna go there. Nothing, literally, it was so nice and so normal that we had a dog with us, not our dog, our friend's dog, and the dog was fantastically behaved, and most of the other dogs were too. Dogs are so cool, they kind of sniff each other. Except one yappy little dog who got a little up on his or her haunches and was, I was like, okay, our dog's mellow, your dog is not. We win with our mellow dog. See ya. I told you, I went down that avenue and there was nothing there. Let's see what else we got here. This is interesting. This is different. Original sound for musicians off. Have you seen this on Zoom? I've never seen this before. This is now a new, it's a notification. It's telling me that we're live on Facebook. It's telling me that I'm, thank goodness, recording the show. So for those of you who miss the program, of course, that we are on, that our archives are at davesgoneby.com, DAVESGONEBY, davesgoneby.com. And they're also at, pardon me, let me have some tea. They're also at archive.org, archive.org, which is this not-for-profit website that collects entertainment and art and culture from literally the past, 3,000 years, whatever they can get their hands on. That's either they have permission for or is in the public domain. And astonishingly, we have a channel there. It's the Dave's Gone By channel. Find us on archive.org. Plus, if you're a podcaster or like listening to podcasts, you don't want to sit and watch this for 2 or 3 hours, remember that you can hear the audio only of the program by going to castbox.fm and downloading it as physically a podcast. Check it out, castbox.fm. We also have a YouTube channel. And remember that on this Facebook page, we've been doing the show as video now for 4 or 5 years. All the old video shows are, just keep scrolling back on Facebook, you'll find us. It's just all the older shows from the first 15, 16 years, those won't be there. But everything else, it's on Facebook, you can find it. Anyway, what I am finding, besides this weird notification that original sound for musicians off, I wonder if this means that's why when you go back and you listen to our old show on Facebook, a part is audioed out. So they may have audio muted something We'll find that out. Let me know. Anyway, more importantly, we have our first guest coming into the neighborhood. She is a long time friend of mine, a critic friend and colleague, and she is, and I think she tells a story that I may have been the one who convinced her to be a theater critic. I'm not sure about this, but I think I was. Her name is Eva Heineman, and she has been on a bunch of our Tony Award shows, and you can find her also doing the weekly program High Drama on Manhattan Neighborhood Network. Also, they take the shows and put them on Facebook and YouTube. So she's going to be here. She's going to be muted coming in. Here she is. Good morning. Good Shabbos to you, Eva Heineman. Make sure you unmute your microphone and say hello to the neighborhood. Hello. There you are.
We're on, we're live, we're
We're
here.
on. We're on. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, Eva?
Oh, neighborhood.
Yes, and welcome to it. And let's see. So interesting that you've got 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. You've got Come From Away behind you. You've got Love Music, which I hated. About
Wait, what did you hate?
love music. Isn't that what about?
Yeah, you hated it?
Oh, I hated it. Was so bored. Yeah.
Oh
You
my
loved it?
God, I loved it. But then I'm a big, I mean, I had to scatter my best friend's ashes on the grave of Lotta Lenya and Kurt Vile. We all dressed up in costumes. We made a big, huge party out of it. It was actually a lot of fun. We done right by our friend John Mangano.
Where are Lotte Lenya and Kurt Vile buried in Germany, or were they buried?
No, they're buried in Nyack.
Oh,
I think in Nyack. I remember we rented a car. We all rented cars, piled in, and went and scattered his ashes. And
what
then we
costumes?
danced around. One person was dressed as Jackie Kennedy. I mean, I was wearing a little elf costume.
What were people at the cemetery? No. You scattered them where? It was only been a cemetery. Oh yeah. Were people at the cemetery looking at you and
There was nobody there. I never even thought about that, but luckily there was nobody there.
Wow, because some grave diggers would be like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Are they having a bacchanalia? Is there some witches gathering?
Wow. Well, Eva, you look great. It's great to see you. Can I ask what has been, since we're nearing the end of the calendar year, we're not there yet, like the best show you've seen?
Oh, that's easy. That slam dunk on this one. This is like the best thing I've seen in 10 years.
What?
It's Only Gold, and it's unfortunately closing tomorrow, but I have been telling everyone and grabbing them by their lapel saying, I don't care, drop everything. This is the one thing you have got to see, Only Gold. It was positively magic. It was brilliant. Andy Buchenbuehler is the most incredible choreographer in the universe. I mean, the first scene, I was in tears. It was so gorgeous.
Wow, Only Gold. Where's that playing?
At MCC. You didn't get to see it?
I moved.
Yeah, you just let me know this. So my brain still has not revolved around the fact that you don't live here anymore. What is it, Alice? David doesn't
live here anymore. No, David lives about 200 miles away in Maryland. So I'm not seeing anything. I wanted to see Kimberly Akimbo. I've not seen.
That's on Broadway, so you'll get a chance.
I hope so. And Leopoldstadt, which I couldn't see when I was last in town.
That's on Broadway, and that's not going anywhere.
And there's one that's apparently really, really good about child molesters.
Oh my God, it's horrible. Well, it depends. Do you follow?
Well, I like child molesters? No, I generally
No. My co-host Mark Savitt. You know, Mark Savitt and I
know he reviewed my show badly. I hate him. Yes.
Yes. Oh, then this will really keep you away from this dreadful play. He, of course, loved it because he likes disgusting, dark, evil, dead baby killer kind of people.
But that's what I do. And he still hated my show. Except I talked about poop. So maybe he didn't like that.
No.
Oh, well, I don't know. No.
He's very fastidious.
All right, fair. But he's fastidious, and yet he loves shows about dead
dark,
babies,
messy, disgusting people.
having sex with children.
No, I'm sorry. People who sleep with their children, who rape little kids, will never be sympathetic to me. And they were trying to manipulate me into feeling sympathy for these people. No, hang them all. I almost swore.
Do you feel that way about murderers? Wait, Eva, do you feel that way about murder? I mean, there are books and plays and movies about murderers, maybe not serial killers, but people who've done bad things that could potentially be even viewed as worse than rape
No,
or child rape.
No, nothing's worse than rape. Nothing in the universe. I don't care if you're raping women, men, children, anything.
Animals. No, I'm
Yeah,
not
that
gonna have done
too, that too.
Yeah, oh,
You
really?
know, they deserve to be mentioned because you've got the go to Who is Sylvia story, but that wasn't rape. That was a real love story.
Oh, it was a terrible play. I hated that play too.
I love that play. Well, we have different tastes, obviously.
Completely. Except I like Spelling Bee. That was good. I like 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling
Oh
Bee.
my God, I love that show. I remember taking Alfie to it, and he absolutely adored it. It was like one of his favorite plays he ever saw.
Oh, yay. Well, what are you looking forward to well, Eva's going to be with us playing the Today, Yesterday trivia quiz in just a couple of minutes. But I brought Eva on a little bit early just to talk about this kind of thing, because she sees still, after all these years, every show on Broadway, basically every show off and even off Broadway. So what are you looking forward to in the spring season?
I don't know. I'm having enough trouble trying to get through November. I'm like, I cannot keep up with everything. There is so much out there. It is diabolical. I mean, there are 10 Broadway shows opening up in December. I can't even think about booking them because, all right, these shows close November 19th. I have to see those. Now, November 27th. I have to see those before they're gone. It's just like,
Since when do 10 shows open in this? December is usually like, except for one or two holiday things, a dead zone. But
exactly. I know. I don't know. It's like, are we movies or theater?
Yeah,
I told everyone, skip going to the movies this December. Go to the theater. There's just so much out there.
hey, did you like Some Like It Hot? They're saying that's like one of the best Broadway musicals of the
Interesting
last.
story about that one. So before it even opened,
Yeah.
Theater Mania put out a special, invitation to a dress rehearsal. So there
Oh,
was no scenery, no nothing. It was bare bones. They were still working through it. Mark and Scott were there in the audience, and everyone was kind of like taking notes and checking it out. And even then, I thought, oh my God, they're making this work. I mean, they didn't have my favorite line in it, but that's okay. I mean, it was
hey, nobody's perfect. Oh,
exactly. That's not my favorite line. My favorite,
yeah, I
my
figured.
favorite line is I would get the fuzzy end of the lollipop.
Oh, that's a classic too.
Yeah.
So I'm so thrilled. I'm because that's the one that they're saying is probably going to be first up for best musical so far. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen. I mean, I still have to see Almost Famous, and also the trouble is COVID. I'm booked for things, and then I get kicked out, and then I forget to reschedule. So I'm like, oh dear, I forgot. I have to reschedule piano lessons still. So
That's right. Yeah. No, when I was in New York for a very quick weekend a couple of weeks ago, and I was scheduled to bundled 3 shows. And my third one, it was not Death of a Salesman, it was the revival of the piano lesson. And it was like all set to go for my evening show on Saturday. And it's like, nope, don't close, don't go. It's they were out for COVID for the week. So I was like, what do you do? That is what it is. Let me bring in, though, on that weird note, one of the people who's going to be playing our Today, Yesterday trivia quiz, as she does so delightfully and so often with us. She is from Chicago, and she does shows at the... Whoa! Got to be kidding. Oh,
yeah,
how did you... Where did you find that, Vicky?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on.
No, I'm here. I am.
Yeah, I have to get out of, hold on.
Sure.
Now, I should be there. I have to get,
Yeah.
am I there? Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you, and I see your backdrop too.
Okay, great. Where did I find it? I found it online for sale at Archie McPhee.
what
Well,
is that?
Vicky, you weren't listening to the first part of the show, but I've been.
And I was like, yes.
Obsessively. Do you know? Wait, don't say. Do you know what this is? Do you know what these things are?
No.
See the wings, or not wings, the vestigial gills, or whatever they are. This, Eva,
Yes.
is a toy representation of an actual amphibian. Now it's kind of a cross between a frog, a what do you call it, a salamander, and perhaps a fish, and it's called an axolotl. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Nor should you ever, but now you have, because They make these things, and they're a real thing. They call them Mexican walking fish.
You mean they actually exist in nature?
They exist in nature. They're real frog-like amphibian things called axolotls.
My
And-
God.
They're cute. They're unbelievably cute, and they look kinda like this, except this
Are
is
they that color too? Are they purple?
they're all different colors. That's the beauty of them. They're white, they're
Wow.
purple, they're orange, they're like amazing. And as I was saying on the show, they're in the wild. They're starting to get not endangered, but they're starting to get a little scarce. But everybody's bringing them at home, so there's a glut of them on the home market, and they're getting lost in the wild. It's this weird thing because when they breed, they make like 4,000 eggs. So you take a pair home, and you've got a lot of axolotls.
Oh, wow.
And we have a lot of Leslie Hoban Blake. Hello, Leslie.
Leslie, glammed up. Look at you.
Oh, and Leslie, I saw Leslie at Only Gold, so Leslie can tell you herself how brilliant Only Gold was.
Well, let's see if we have a agreement or a fight here. Good morning, Leslie
Oh,
Hoban.
no, agreement on this one.
Hold on, Leslie's got to get her sound on. Or
Paris.
she might have a toy axolotl too, because I know I have my big puffy one. And axolotl
Oh,
Where do you find
oh.
these things?
everywhere, Eva.
No, where do you buy them?
That's what I'm saying. I never thought, you never heard of these things, and now they're everywhere. Go to any toy store, they have friggin' axolotls now.
Wow. Who knew? You knew.
Leslie,
We know now. Leslie, are there? Can we hear you? Can you hear us? Not yet. Hold on. Gotta unmute that thing. Hit that button.
Okay,
there you go.
Good morning. How you doing, Les?
I'm fine. Hello, Eva. I haven't seen you since what, a week ago?
Only Gold. And wasn't Only Gold the best thing you ever saw in your life?
No, it was okay. It was not the best thing I've ever seen in my whole life. No. You're
Well-
generous. The script was terrible. The dancing was lovely.
Whoa.
Well, I like fairy tales, so
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a very simplistic fairy tale.
most fairy
But,
tales
you know, I
are.
mean, I'm glad you loved it. I enjoyed it. Let's put it that way. I enjoyed it.
It was
Okay.
just amazingly staged, though. I mean, it was the best
Yes,
thing you ever
beautiful
saw
staging.
staged.
But that's Andy Buchenbuller's Buchenbuller, that's his name.
Oh,
Yeah.
Buchenbuller.
Choreography.
And that's his forte. So he wanted to do a dance musical, and that's what he did. He just unfortunately chose to make it a fairy tale, and it wasn't very interesting. I
Wow.
thought, my opinion, in my
Okay.
humble IMO, right? Or
Well,
IMHO. Whoops, I gotta put that light on. Okay.
One-
Sorry about this. My Wi-Fi is completely out. I'm using my little tablet.
It looks great.
Um,
It looks better than your usual video. You look
You look
fantastic.
great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'll do this
Oh,
from now on,
great.
guys. Wow.
Yeah, it's framed beautifully too, but I love the color, and it's matching the mirror behind you and all that. I was connected.
Okay, all right. That's it. I'm never leaving this chair. I'm staying here forever.
Are you
And
in your,
it's not my sweet spot, guys. They'll find me here. My dried bones will be in this position.
good Lord. No, so how was Connecticut? Didn't you have a jaunt?
No, next weekend.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh,
next-
I had a trip to New Haven. Yes. I haven't
okay.
spoken to you since then. No, can I take a minute? Guys, does
Take
anybody
a
mind?
minute, yes, take a minute.
Well, I have news to share. I was thinking about moving to New Haven because it's closer to my kids. And I was just, my mind was, I needed something to think about. So I went to New Haven with a friend for a couple of days, and we looked at apartments. And there's only one building that I would even consider. First of all, I like New Haven because it's a real city. It has buildings, it has concrete, it has, streets, it has buses.
I hate those cities that don't have buildings. Yeah.
No, because my kids live in a one street town, and I can't do that. I can stay with my kids for a week, and then a weekend, and by the third day I'm ready to leave. I have to have a city, so it's the closest thing to a city I could find to that I would like, and it's a college town, and I like that. So, and I've been there, and I love the restaurants and the little everything. It's a great walking town.
I keep hearing a butt in here. I mean, I usually smell butts, but I hear a butt in this
Did
one.
it bomb in New Haven?
Well, no, we don't know. Au contraire, I found a building that has the biggest and best grocery store slash drugstore combo in New Haven. As the ground floor commercial space, and it's a 32-story building, the only 32-story residential. Everything else was 6 stories high. And I live on the 35th floor now, man. I can't go to living. I went from the 3rd floor to the 35th, and I'm not going back. So I'm very interested in that building. Extremely interested in that building. I left a deposit. That's how interested I am. And they were very coy about the prices. This is the part I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know what I'm paying here, but it's a lot. It's so much. I don't even want to tell you. And it's going up another $1,000 a month next year.
Oh, my God.
Well, rent stabilization is over. Look at you. What are those cutie pies? What are those cute little things? Oh, I love them. I thought that was your hand.
Axolotls.
Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, there we go.
I
Yes,
see.
they're
I have
axolotls.
nothing.
Been there, done that, Liz. Go back to the housing thing. So
So
yeah.
anyway, so for $1,000 less than I'm paying here, I could have a 2-bath, 2-bedroom apartment
Nice.
on the 26th floor with, window walls on a corner apartment. So I'm
Wow.
contemplating it. Let's put it that way.
Right.
My lease runs through next August. If I leave, it's an hour and a half to come back to go to the theater. I'd be doing what you do, David. I'd be coming in for a long weekend.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Because an hour and a half
trying to do a lot
by.
of theater.
How would you get back? Would you take a bus or what
So
would
the
you?
train, no, I take the train. The train is, and the new apartment house, the train station is right across the street from my house.
Hero plays in New Haven.
Nobody uses it. It looks like a little toy train station. It's gorgeous.
And-
It's called State Street, but everybody gets off at New Haven. So State Street is like this little empty thing that would be like my private entrance to the train. I love that part. So
And that's-
I'm very torn. If any of the viewers want to give me advice, or I understand New Haven winters are very cold and snowy, so I have to go up at least once in the winter time. We went up on the most perfect weekend in November. It was just it was 60 degrees. I mean, it was lovely, and we had a great time, and it's all the things I wanted it to be. It's walkable. It's, so I have
Yale
to
is
see.
right there.
Well, yes.
At Yale, you could do all sorts of stuff at Yale.
Well, that's it. I actually thought about doing. I thought about taking courses
Oh,
because, if I decide not to, well, I don't know if I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. Going to the theater, I had 5 nights of theater. Eva, the night that I saw you was like my 3rd or 4th night, and my body is not willing to do that. It hurts me to do that.
no,
physically.
I get it. We get older.
So,
I remember we had a mutual friend or mutual colleague, Marjorie Gunner, who was running
yes.
the
Oh, yeah.
she Outer Critics Circle of Drama Desk. She was Outer Critics, right?
She
Marjorie,
was also
Outer
drama
Critics
desk.
president.
president of the Outer Critics
She
Circle.
was, but she was also drama desk. So
And I remember it was several months before she died. She was like, it was just too much. And even if she took a cab to the theater, coming out in the winter, it would be rainy and freezing cold. It was 90. And she said, it was just like, she couldn't do it anymore.
well, I'm not
Well, you're not
90,
90.
and I'm not about to die, I hope. But the
Yeah.
point is that I
No.
have physical problems, which I've had for years, and they're just getting worse.
Right.
And I never thought of going to the theater as a chore, and it feels like a chore.
Oh.
And I never thought of sitting as a problem.
Oh.
So I really have to back off. I have to pick only those things I really want to see. And of course, I'm a glutton. I want to see everything. I'm used to seeing everything if I go.
That's the thing.
And so I just have to work it out in my head and my body. But the move is a very definite possibility. I left them a check to hold that apartment for me for next year.
Well, let me tell you, Leslie, the one thing is that if you move to Chicago, you
Yeah,
can go
right.
every
I know.
weekend to
I
see
would have
the
a built-in friend, right?
Yeah, and you could see both Are You Smarter Than Your 8th Grade Nun?
You
And
can see a lot of stuff. Late Night Catechism right now, Christmas
Right.
Bingo.
Christmas
a
is
lot of
already up.
stuff.
Yeah.
Hey.
And there's
I
other
have a
shows
question
here
for
too.
you. Have you ever been the guest on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me?
I have not. I'd love to do that. That'd be fun.
Have you ever put that forth to them? Have you ever let them know that you'd be available?
I have not. I should.
I
should.
think
I
you
mean,
should, because they talk about all the things that are going on in Chicago, and they never have a Chicago guest. They always have guests from other places.
That's
I
true.
do pick up the phone and call them and say, you have a treasure right there in Chicago. She should be on your show.
Yeah.
And you would be,
And I
you would
think
actually
they
be
get a
great.
kick out of that 8th grade nun thing. So I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
anyway, what will be great is our playing the weekly today, yesterday trivia quiz, which you guys have all played. Well, even you
That.
played it once. And Leslie, you play it all the time. Vicky, too. You're an old hand at this. But I
Yeah.
will remind Eva and our listeners, our viewers, excuse me, of the rules of the today, yesterday quiz. We have questions. They are trivia questions and 2 rounds with 1 question per contestant each, and they're worth 2 points apiece. If you get the question right, then you keep the points. If you get the question wrong, one of the other contestants gets to steal those 2 points if they got the question right. And then after 6 questions, we have a tiebreaker that we do whether or not we need it.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
Number one is a statement. I never heard the word wrong have 2 syllables before. And the other is that, but you said wronga, so it's
wronga.
now a 2 syllable
Wronga.
word. That's a joke.
Yes.
And the second thing is this the first time we've had an all-female,
We were talking about that, yes.
I think it's the first time we've ever had 3
all
women
females?
against each other. So no
All
catfighting,
girls
no,
together, right?
no scratching, no biting.
I'm
cleaning with
honored.
the objects. No, it's just,
I think we all get along extremely well.
Yes, we
I
do.
I really do.
So let me, the one thing I do have to do, Eva, since
Yes.
A, it is, you are kind of the newbie, and B, it's Shabbos, you get to pick a number between 1 and 6 and tell me what it is.
She's not allowed to pick on Shabbos. It's not-
I can pick, I just can't write.
Right, I got
Oh,
you.
there you go. So,
I got my Shabbos teacup.
but you have to tell me what it is. So what
Um,
number would it be, Eva?
2.
2. Eva going with a number 2. All right. Now, Vicky, por favor.
I'll do 4.
Vicky with a number 4. Now, wait. Leslie, hold on.
I'm gonna finish the cheer, David. I'm gonna finish the cheer. 2, 4, 6.
Of course. Leslie always takes 6. That's kind of a running
I'll
joke.
fool you one of these days.
Oh,
David, one of these days I'll fool you. I'll take another number, but not today.
Well, guess what, Eva?
yeah.
I won't say beginner's luck because you played this game before, but I did just roll a 2. So you can choose whether to go first, second, or third.
Ask her how Alfie's doing. Ask her how Alfie is.
Ask me what?
Well, Joyce wants to know, how's your kid? How's Alfie?
Oh, Alfie's fine. He's going to be an electrician.
Whoa, that's shocking. Well, he was always a bright kid. And he knows how to light up a room.
I just had to do a plug for Alfie.
Oh,
plug.
plug.
Oh.
Wah, 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 wah.
Oh, you are wired. Yeah. So, excuse me. So, Eva, first, second, or third in the game?
Let's make it 3rd because I don't remember how to play it, so I can get used to it.
A very smart position, actually.
Right.
You're a lot of smart position. So I just rolled a 5, another 5, a 4. 4 is Vicky. Vicky, do you want to be first?
I'll go first.
You do that, Vicky. You're so cool. And then Leslie, you go in the middle. It just means.
I'll play monkey in the middle. It's okay.
Here we go. So the first question goes to Vicky. Vicky, this is worth 2 points. And remember, Eva, not that it really matters, but the point of the game on some level is that all these things, well, some of these questions, either they have to do with current events or things that happened on this date in history. So this is November 26th. This first question happened on November 26th, 1716. Are you ready, Vicky?
Bam.
16, here we go. Merchant and sea captain Arthur Savage opens the door to his Boston home to show off his exotic exhibition, a live lion, the first one ever seen in the American colonies. Speaking of lions, makes me think of Lyon in France. Which of these is false about Lyon? 1, this is how the game is played, yeah. It has a museum built to look like a spaceship. 2, it has a museum dedicated to chaos and destruction. 3, it has an apartment complex with 365 windows, 1 for every day of the year. Or D, it has a 4-story apartment complex with all the bathrooms on the ground floor.
Jeez, I hope, and what, one is correct or one is wrong?
All of these are true, except 1 is false. 1 does not exist.
Man, I mean, the bathrooms all on the main, It's a 4-story and the bathrooms are all on the first floor. Oh, that sounds horrible, but maybe that's a plumbing thing, so that's possible. Oh, and then the museums. So it's a museum. Is there a museum? The second one was a museum of chaos.
Dedicated to chaos and
And
destruction.
destruction.
It's a possibility. And what are the other two? Just and then one is
I'll read them all. So A is, it has a museum built to look like a spaceship. B, it has a museum dedicated to chaos and destruction. C, it has an apartment complex with 365 windows, one for every day of the year. Or D, it has a 4-story apartment complex with all the bathrooms on the ground floor.
I'm going to say C about the 365 windows.
You're saying that is not true.
That is what I'm saying. Whether I'm right or not.
Okay, hold on. I got something in the toy store the other day.
Oh,
A new one.
it doesn't work.
Haven't used it yet, but it doesn't do chords, but it's still, it can,
Did you turn it on?
oh, you don't hear it?
We can barely hear it.
Well, that's probably for the best. You hear that? No?
Click, click,
No.
click, click.
I think the thing, I have a
What
thing
happened to the xylophone?
muting I've got the xylophone. I may have to, nothing at all. This thing on Zoom says that original sound for musicians is off. So I think it's doing some weird, let's try this.
Did I get it right or not? Oh, there.
There we go.
It was suppressing music. How interesting. But anyway, Vicky, I wanted to let you know you're wrong. So the thing is, there really is, honest to God, there's a museum.
Not a museum, a apartment building.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The apartment building with 365 windows, one for each day of the year. It also has 4 entrances, one for each season. They did this whole thing that has to do with, yeah, it's very cool. But you don't get any points. So we're gonna roll the die and let's see what number comes up. 4 again, 2. 2 is Eva. Eva, you can steal this question. Hold on, right there.
If I steal this question, do I still get a question of my own?
Yeah. You're just
Yeah.
going to steal this point.
Okay.
This is extra points if you
All
get
right.
it.
Yeah. The trouble is they all sound true to me. I mean, France, it's like their bathroom situation. I believe that. I mean, Urinetown was inspired by the plumbing of France. So, and the thing is, France is so chaotic and everything. Those between the chaos and the spaceship one. So it's either one or the others, but I might pick the wrong one. I'll go with the spaceship one just because I like space.
So you're saying it is not true that Lyon
The space doesn't exist.
it does between my ears. Let's see if you're right.
You're going old school, eh?
Oh, Eva, I'm afraid there's a space where those 2 points would have been. That is not the correct answer. There really is a museum built like a spaceship in France. So Leslie, Hoban, Blake, you have a 50-50 shot of getting some points here.
Okay, first of all, I have to say, Vicky, please watch out. Those things behind you are getting closer. It's like the angels on Doctor Who. Every time I look, they're closer to you.
Here,
So do be careful, please.
I can change it.
No!
I like them.
Don't change them. It was my
No!
So Les, what are you thinking?
Okay, so I have either chaos and destruction, or everybody has to pee on the first floor. I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, except that it might have been an old building where they couldn't fix the plumbing to go upstairs, where it could only be on the first floor. That would be extremely French, Eva.
Exactly.
If I'm, oh dear. Lyon has a university. France has all sorts of dark philosophers, so chaos and destruction would fit in somewhere between Sartre and Camus, I think. I'm torn between both of them. I could justify either one. I'm going to say the one that's false is the obvious one, the 4-story apartment building with all the toilets on the first floor.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I'm sure it's wrong, but go ahead.
Oh, well, Leslie, you should be flushed with success because you are correct. I made that up. There's no such thing as well, I mean, there may be somewhere, but no, I made that
But
complete.
I can justify that, you know.
It sounded
Wow.
plausible.
It seems so French, though.
No, I agree, Eva. That's the one I agree about.
I
Okay.
lived in Paris. That's why I thought it was because I know I used to go travel on the subway just to go to the bathroom.
Good Lord. But anyway, you should know that
Well done, Leslie.
the Spaceship Museum is called the Musée
Thank
de
you.
Confluences, built in 2014, and the Abode of Chaos Museum, which is really, it's been, apparently a lot of people find it an eyesore. It's literally like skulls and destruction and fragments of buildings, and apparently really horrible but fascinating at the same time in Lyon, France. Well done, Leslie Hoban Blake. You have 2 points. You are in the lead of our game. And not only that,
By the way, I just want you to know we're all ladies together. Eva said good for me or some such thing. Eva congratulated me, which is very nice.
Oh yeah.
we're all
Yes,
friends.
I think we are, although we are all competitive, I think we are also very kind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus, this is a fun game. I mean, to me, this is just a game. I'm not
It is.
competitive. I
There's
just
no
like playing
prize money, you
games.
know that. There's not even, you don't even get a toy axolotl. There's just nothing. Leslie, here's the deal though. You have 2 points and you can get 2 more points because the next question goes to
Fine,
you.
right.
Chose to take
Right.
second place.
Uh-huh.
So here we go. Oh, Leslie.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. He
Yeah.
does this to me. He
Yeah.
does this to me.
I didn't make you go second. But anyway, yes, we have 3 clues in the news. So I'll explain this to Eva. What happens is we think of 3 words, right? These words are not connected to each other. They're seemingly random, except each word is actually connected to the word we're looking for that Leslie has to come up with. And that word is something in the news. So, I mean, for an example of the kind of thing, if I were to say, let me try this out on Eva so she gets it. Like, the 3 clues would be sweet, couch, and vegetable. What word comes to mind? Like-
Homer Simpson.
Oh,
So close.
okay.
So close.
But like sometimes it's blank, sometimes it's like sweet blank, couch blank.
What did you just eat for Thanksgiving? Sweet.
Potato.
There it is.
Oh.
Get it? So the words themselves aren't connected, but each word is connected to.
You found potato.
Yes.
You didn't have potatoes the last couple of times. You found potato.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
You unpacked potato.
We brought more from New York last time I was there. So,
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right.
so but this is not Eva's question. This is Leslie's question. Leslie, so that's why she's dragging it. So Leslie, here are your 3 clues.
You know what I made? You know what kind of potatoes I made for Thanksgiving? I made,
Right.
they're called smashed potatoes. You take the littlest potatoes,
The
you
fingerlings.
boil them, then you smash them, then you fry them.
Oh, then you fry them.
Well, you can
And they
bake
are
them too.
so delicious. I mean, I fry
Mm.
them in Tam. I don't use oil or anything. So, you know, they're not really fried and they're not deep fried, but they are so good. Anyway, sorry, that's my
try
latest
that.
recipe. Yeah.
No, that sounds.
Boil them, smash them, and you can put some garlic, some
You can
Parmesan.
put anything, garlic,
Parmesan
any kind. I put,
Stick it in
I
the
put
oven.
herbs on them. And you don't peel them. You keep, so I got little regular, little yellow and little purple. So it was really
they're
very good,
crunchy.
very lovely.
Really
They're
good.
slightly crunchy. Yeah, they're delicious.
Okay.
And it's a different flavor and they have the skins on, so, you know.
So it's kind of, they're uncircumcised potatoes, essentially.
Right, that's it.
Anyway, I have a question for you. It's 3 clues in the
Oh,
news.
that's right, we're playing a game, right?
Here we go. Your 3
How many clues in the news, David? How many?
Maybe you should give music.
Yeah, got it, thank you.
Procrastination.
No, I thought I could make him forget it was my turn. I didn't get that question.
I knew there was method to the madness.
Oh, yes, yes, it was, there was a method.
Okay, here we go.
Madness. Yes.
The 3 clues are ball, tip, card.
Can you tell me that middle one more time?
It's ball, tip,
tip. I couldn't tell if it was tip or, okay. Give me a second, please.
Oh, you go ahead.
What are they?
The clues are
Yeah,
ball,
okay.
tip.
Okay, I need a second. I have to keep saying them in my head.
You're playing music at the end. Leslie, don't overthink it.
Sorry.
Oh.
I know it's wrong, but I'm gonna say board. BOARD.
Board. Well,
Bored.
is that your final answer?
Yeah,
David, she's bored.
Well, I'm sorry if you're bored, Leslie, but that is not the correct answer, I'm afraid.
Okay.
So I'm going to
good
roll.
luck, ladies.
Here we go. Someone can steal this question. It came up number 3, number 1, another number. Stop. Another number. What? 3, 2. Eva.
We'll go, Eva. You got it.
I don't know. I'm just gonna guess. I have no clue. Ace.
What was that?
Ace. 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 Because baseball has aces in it, and I don't know about tip.
Okay.
And card is an ace, so I don't know. Ace.
Final answer?
Yeah.
You're so delighted with that. It's like, well, I don't know what you based that answer on, but it is not the correct one, Eva Heinemann. So I think I see a smile sort of on Vicky's. No.
Vicky's got it.
No, you think I do? I've been thinking about what's in the news. That's the big thing.
Right.
Like, card. Yeah, you're right, like baseball card, a baseball tip doesn't matter. Card game, tip game, game tip, bowl game, card,
Try
credit card,
Try the one.
credit tip, credit bowl.
Or start with the ball one and you'll get it. Start with the ball blank.
Oh, wait, I thought it was bowl.
Hey, well, you're helping her. Why didn't you help us?
Is it BOWL?
No, it's BALL.
Oh, I
That's
put
what
bowl.
Yeah.
Ball. Oh, well, that's different.
BALL, you'll get it.
Round ball, ball. Oh, now I haven't even started. This is the first thing I realized it's ball. Ball, not game. Card game. It can't be game.
Also a theater term. It's a theater term, right?
Yeah. And you're kind of helping one contestant over the others, though.
Yeah.
Good
But she
choice.
knows how much we need help.
I don't Leslie didn't need help, and Eva's new. She's learning the process.
It's not even, it's
Ball
Vicky.
applause.
What? Sorry,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. Ball applause. Ball, theater term. I don't know.
Leslie sends me those
Programs.
potatoes. I'll tell her.
Hector ball.
Did you say Robert Ball?
Robert Duvall. no,
Robert Duvall. That's right. Ball. Oh, so round ball. Toss ball. Ball.
When you hear it, you're all going to be so mad.
this is true. You're all
I
good.
know, we're all gonna be so mad, jumping up
Yeah,
and
'cause
down.
it's probably so
Oh,
easy. Ball. Ball. Thinking like crying, ball your eyes out. But I think that's
BALL.
WL. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ball. Tennis ball. Tennis card. Tennis tip. Types of balls. A bowling ball.
Yeah, keep going down the list.
Yeah,
Nikki.
yeah.
Keep going.
Bowling ball. Softball. Baseball. Football. Foot tip. Foot card tip. Foot card. Football. Soccer.
That's why I love this.
World Cup. It's the World Cup. It's soccer. Soccer ball.
Comes the
Soccer
favorite.
tip. Soccer card. I don't know. Soccer. I'm going to say soccer. It's wrong, but it is the World Cup. So
So your final answer is soccer.
soccer, even though it's wrong.
Soccer, if she can't take a joke. No, that is not the.
What is it?
Wait. Let's have Joyce give a clue. Do you want to give them all a clue?
Let's say, for example, you're on stage and you don't know something. Somebody gives you a.
Cue.
Cue,
Cue ball. Q-
ball,
Q-tip.
Q-tip. What is it
Q-card.
called?
Oh, Q-tip. Oh, God.
Cue card.
Oh,
Yeah.
cue card. I see. Cue card ball. Cue ball. I see. Okay.
Oh, my brain never went there. I know.
No.
And it's in the news because
Qatar?
it's a terrible reason, but it's a,
Q.
yeah.
Mm.
What
Why is
happened?
it in the news? I don't know.
The club in Colorado Springs.
The
Oh,
kid-
Club
no.
Q.
Oh, no.
Oh, was it
That's
called Q?
terrible.
well,
Was
yes,
it called Q?
it was called Q, the letter
Oh.
Q in
Queer,
the
for
gay
queer,
club where the
for
guy
queer.
shot up and was, yeah. So
And then they subdued him. That's pretty gutsy.
Shoot him with a shoe.
Yeah.
Right?
No, an
It-
ex-Marine first got him.
Yeah. And
Yeah, this military guy. I know. Yeah, that was like, yay.
Really gutsy thing to
It was
do.
extremely brave, and that guy lost his son's girlfriend's boyfriend got killed. They were all there to support a friend, and the boyfriend got killed.
The guy who attacked him, the military guy who subdued him, he's the first Latino or Latinx brewery. His wife owns a brewery in Colorado Springs. It's the first in the state. Yeah, was
Yes.
the first. Yeah.
That
I
was-
thought about you guys because it was Colorado, but it wasn't where you lived in Colorado anyway.
No, but I started the show talking about there was a gun store that was held up. It is the first story of the New York Post this morning was that a gun store in Rockland, Maryland, was held up. Well, not held up. They drove into it and took all these guns from a gun store. And Rockland was like 15 minutes from where we were just
Yikes.
the last 2 days. So
Yeah.
there's just, trouble
But it
follows
wasn't
me.
you. It wasn't you.
It wasn't me. No, I can't drive that way.
No.
I secretly like driving guns. Anyway, we're on to question 3 in our Today Yesterday quiz. We're playing the game with the delightful Eva Heineman, Vicky Crosby, and Leslie Hoban Blake. So here's the deal. Eva, you haven't gone yet. This is your question. And let's see. We're
Oh boy.
ha.
Oh God.
I hate to do this to you, Eva, but you got it's another weird question that we call change one letter.
Oh,
I like that one. I would have taken that one.
It's kind of cute, but it's hard. It can be
Oh,
hard.
I never can do that. When Jeopardy does that, I never get it right. So this should be fun.
Give it a
So
whirl.
guys, pay attention because you're probably going to get this one.
oh no.
Well,
Thank
this
you.
question requires 2 different answers, each of them worth 1 point. So you're going to come up with one answer. Does this thing keep on
Yes,
playing?
yes.
Look at this thing is haunting. This thing is scaring the hell out of me. Turn it off.
It's haunted.
Yeah.
It's a Phantom of the Opera.
All right.
It literally did a truck horn. It did a truck horn.
It did. It was a horn.
That was
No, that was a boat. That was a boat horn out my window on the.
Oh.
I didn't know that's what you were talking about. I don't even hear it anymore. Because I'm so used to it. That's
Wow.
a foghorn on the boat.
I mean, there are mornings when I wake up horny, but
It's a beautiful day. It must be something else on the river that they're doing. There's no fog.
And my brain is foggy, so
there
it
we
should
go.
be fun.
Oh. Anyway, so Eva,
Yes.
here's the deal. 2 answers to this question. The first one will lead to the second.
Mhm.
And each
Okay.
one is worth 1 point. So here's the deal. The first answer, you'll get, you'll think about it. If you get that answer, you change 1 letter in that word to get the second. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. For example, you know what? I'll give you an example. So here's the deal. This is not the question, but here and it's in poetry form.
Oh,
So there are
Jesus.
2 clues. Here's the clues. It holds any picture you've got. Change 1 letter and it's hot.
Is this the real one?
Oh
or-
yeah, Frame and Flame. Got it.
Boom, got it. That,
Just like that. You see how easy that was?
yeah. So
Well, that was an easy one. Who knows what this? He's sadistic. Let's face it.
we'll see. Eva, this is your chance for 2 points. Here's the poem. With too much demand, her tickets crashed down. Change 1 letter for a loose-fitting gown.
Oh, say it again slowly. Eva, you'll get this.
Okay. With too much demand, her tickets crashed down. Change 1 letter for a loose-fitting gown.
What crashed down?
Ah,
Her ticket.
got it. I got it.
You got,
You got
Eva
it.
may have it. Eva may have
Eva's
it.
got it. Eva's got it.
It's Swift and Shift.
Hey!
Well done. Well done. Eva
Well done.
Heinlein with 2 points on the board. Yay!
Yes.
Yeah, good job, Eva. Well
Come
done.
on, Vicky. Come on, Vicky.
Let's see.
All right. Here comes Vicky Quaggy's question. We now move into the second round. Just so you know, it's Leslie and Eva with 2 points. Vicky not yet on the board, but Vicky gets the first
Well,
question.
Vicky has the oxytodl, so she's got
Are
everything.
we playing 2 rounds or 3 rounds, David?
Just 2 rounds. I'm
2
a
rounds.
busy guy.
I'm just asking, just getting myself clarified. Go ahead. I can go back to the Gilmore Girls that have been on all week. I never saw that show the first time around.
Me
Me
neither.
either. Is
I
it
am
good?
plunged knee deep in Gilmore Girls.
Is it
Is
good?
it good?
It was good to start with. She's a motor mouth, crazy, manic person, and I identified very strongly with her at first, but it's growing tiresome at this point. But it's been on for a week. I mean, it's been every day, 24 hours a day.
An old show, yeah.
I never saw it.
So here's the deal, Vicky. Guess what kind of question you have?
Oh, is it 3 clues in the news?
Vicky.
All right, let me write it down.
Again?
Yeah, I'm allowed.
Because he's a
It's
sadist,
his
Eva.
I was right.
Okay.
You're sadistic.
Here we go. Vicky, your 3 clues are
Okay.
egg, mustache, bra.
Bra. Scrambled egg.
Yeah.
Eggs over easy. Egg. Eggless. Braless. Mustacheless.
That sounds like my life, Vicky.
Mustache. What's that stuff that they put on mustaches? Mustache cream or something like that. Egg cream. I'll say cream, although it doesn't fit bra, but it's mustache cream, egg cream,
So
bra cream, cream bra. Doesn't fit the bra, but
well, it depends how you stuff it, but
mustache, egg. Okay, I'm going to get it wrong. I'm going to say cream because I can't think of anything else.
final answer.
Sure.
Well, I'm sorry to sour your disposition with cream there, with the sour cream, but it is not the correct answer. We're going to roll the die. Are we? Yes, we are. Here we go. Number 4. 4 is Vicky, so that doesn't work. 3, 4, 5, 1, Jesus, 2. Eva, my God, you take the lead
Go, girl.
if you have this.
Well, eggs are yellow. You can have a yellow mustache and you can have a yellow bra. So I'm just going to go with yellow. I know it's wrong, but at least it fits all 3.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Yellow. Goodbye. That is not the correct answer.
Yeah, knew it.
Come on, Leslie.
I know it.
You do. Yay.
It's cup. C-U-P. Cup.
Excellent.
Final answer?
It's the World Cup and it's cup. It's in the news because
Yep.
it's the World Cup.
The
Right?
World Cup. Mustache cup is like those old things that they used to have and then egg cup, of course, and a bra cup. So well done, Leslie.
Yay.
Excellent.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Well, so you just have to run it through. You have to keep saying them until the word comes.
Right,
Um,
right.
But I was going to say it's mustache wax, not mustache cream.
Oh, you're right.
It's okay.
I don't
wouldn't
have a
worked
mustache.
anyway, but
Even
I was
even
just
though I've
wondering
gone,
what
yeah,
mustache
no.
cream was.
Give it a few more years, you will. Yeah, no.
Vicky, I'm watching a show about a nun who solves mysteries on BritBox. You need to do a mystery show with your nuns.
Actually,
Yes.
have you ever
You need
done
a
a
mystery show. Yeah.
Have
Oh,
you?
but I could do that. You're right. That would be fun.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Because dinner murder mysteries, even in hard times, everybody goes to see those things.
People
That'd be
love
great.
those.
Yeah, father,
love those.
somebody,
Yeah.
sister,
Well, this is the nun. Father Brown visited her, but I forget her name, but she's a nun.
MacGyver or something. Yeah.
And you can have the nun flying over the city to
Religious
find clues.
nonsense.
That's right.
All right. So here's the deal. We have. Oh, I have to note down that.
It's 4, 2, and 0.
All right, but we're not through with that game yet. Here's the deal, though. Leslie, you've got another question now coming. So this could
Oh,
really
boy.
be almost an insurmountable lead here
Oh,
in
boy.
the
Oh,
second.
yes, I'm insurmountable. I wouldn't,
Come on,
never mind.
Leslie.
I won't even go there. I
All
will
right.
not go there. Do not go there.
So here's the question, Leslie. More about current events, actually. It was a surprisingly good week for former Tonight Show TV host Jay Leno,
Oh.
who was seriously burned while tinkering with one of his classic cars. He's on the mend, though, and was even seen driving the day after he got out of the hospital.
Whoa.
Which of these is
Is that
false?
real?
Oh, yeah.
Drove, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was literally, they showed him in the car
Oh my
like
God.
3 days after
Yeah.
skin grafts and
Oh
stuff.
my God.
Which of these is false about Jay Leno? A, he has a bachelor's degree in speech therapy.
Hmm.
B, Leno's son Joshua co-wrote the 2021 movie smash Spider-Man No Way Home.
Hmm.
C, Leno's autobiography was titled Leading with My Chin. Or D, he once wrote for the TV sitcom Good Times.
It's false?
One of these, only one of these, is false.
Wow.
I don't believe that Leno has a kid.
Oh,
I think that's why he has all those cars. Seriously, I think he just, I don't believe he has a kid. I don't know why I think that. I know his biography was called Leading with My Chin. I don't know about Good Times and I don't know about the speech therapy. So, but I'm going to go between those two. As false, I will say that I'm sure Good Times was written by a bunch of white guys. Because that's the way they did things back then. I think that was before his time. I'm going to say he did not write for Good Times.
Is that your final answer?
It is. I'm ahead. I don't care.
Leslie, which one did you look? Good Time she picked? I didn't hear.
No,
you.
no,
Okay.
she's saying it's false.
That's false. Okay.
That Jay Leno wrote for Good Times.
Okay.
Well, Leslie Oban Blake, this is not a good time for you. Because
Oh,
I'm afraid that was true. Not only that, here's the deal. Both, amazingly enough, both Jay Leno and David Letterman wrote for Good Times. They were hired.
Really?
They were hired by
Wow.
Wow.
the show.
Did not know that.
And
Wow.
Walker has
Okay.
nothing nice to say about Leno. He's saying he like had a guy fired on the stand. They're not.
Leno?
Yeah.
Is he mean and like
You get all sorts of different reports about
Wow.
him. So, but here's the deal. This is exciting now because we get to roll the die, and this game is not out of the woods for all our contestants. We have, well, number 6 is Leslie. Number 2, however, is Eva.
Eva. On Eva.
Oh, you want me? Oh, I get to answer it?
Yeah, you get to steal.
Yeah. You know the
Okay.
answer?
Yeah, I was with you. I thought that the answer was that his son wrote the Spider-Man thing. I don't think he has a son either. So I was
I think
thinking
he
that
has
one.
children.
Yeah, so I was thinking the Josh Leno thing that wrote the Out of the University Spider-Man thing.
So is that your
Yeah, it's false. I think that one's false.
that is your final answer?
Oh, of course. I went right by it. Well, let's see if I get go ahead. I didn't think of that. That would be the false one, right?
Well, Jay Leno's son won't come out tomorrow because he has no children.
Ah,
Eva
I
Heineman.
went right by it. I said it and I went right by it. How idiotic.
Yeah, I was thinking she's got it because that's the one I thought of immediately
No,
because
I just threw it out the window. So we're tied. We're tied, Eva.
This is a fan from the church.
because well also my kid saw that Spider-Man thing like 100 times. It was like his favorite movie. And I knew that Josh Leno did not write that.
You know, it's interesting. The best place to see the Spider-Man movie is not the movie theater.
Where?
It's on the web.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
you
sorry.
just strung me along with that
I
one.
did- I just ate.
Good one. Good one, Eva.
Ah,
Puns
okay.
are my things.
This is a very important moment right here, because we have the last official question before the tiebreaker
Uh-oh.
of the game. And it's going directly to Eva Heineman, who is tied for first place
Whoa, Eva.
with Leslie Hoban Blake. If you get this right, Eva, if you get this,
You win, Eva, if you get it right. No pressure, Eva.
Not at all. Not at
Oh,
all.
like I said, I'm not competitive. I'm just enjoying myself. So
Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. That's really the whole point. But here, if you,
No, the whole point is to enjoy yourself and plug your creative endeavors.
that's true too. So,
oh,
drama,
yes, high drama. Everyone watch high drama.
Thank you.
so here's the deal. If you get this right, you will win the. We'll still do the tiebreaker, but you will win the game. If you don't get this right, and Leslie gets it right, then she wins the game. If you or Leslie don't get it right, and Vicky does, we have a tie game, and we go into a three-way tiebreaker. This is wow! I love this.
It's
This is-
history, David.
oh.
This is history.
Oh, this is like the FIFA World Cup right here. I
Yes,
can't.
it
I
is.
can't. It's like America and England tied at
Okay,
0.
yeah.
All right, are you ready, Eva? Eva,
Yes, I
Oh,
she's
geez.
banging.
am. Broadway and Bryant Park. Even my fan. I'm a fan of Broadway.
Really, I had no idea. Okay, so the year was 1842.
Oh, geez.
Okay, on today,
1842.
November 26th, 1842. Founded today near South Bend, Indiana, is the private Catholic research university Notre Dame, right? Which of these is false about the home of the Fighting Irish?
Oh no.
A, the 1986 film Hoosiers is loosely based on Notre Dame's 1976 basketball team. B, before the final home game of every football season, fans in the stands have a flying marshmallow fight. C, it's considered bad luck to walk up the front steps of the campus's main building. Or D, the official school mascot is a leprechaun. One of these is false about Notre Dame.
I'm Jewish. What do I know from Notre Dame? Okay, what was the first one again?
I'll read them again. So Notre Dame was founded today as a Catholic research university. One of these, though, is false about Notre Dame University. A, the 1986 film Hoosiers is loosely based on Notre Dame's 1976 basketball team. B, before the final home game of every football season, fans in the stands have a flying marshmallow fight. C, it's considered bad luck to walk up the front steps of the campus's main building. Or D, the official school mascot is a leprechaun.
Which is what, false? Or
One
true?
of these is false.
Okay.
Only one, the rest
One
are
is
true.
false.
One is false.
Well, that makes no sense, though. I mean, it's bad luck to walk up the steps of the main building. How else are you going to get there if you don't walk up those steps? So what? You're just saying they have bad luck all the time? That makes no sense to me. So I'm logically going to pick that one because I just don't know.
All right, final answer.
Yeah.
Well, step down, Eva
Oh.
Heinemann, because that is not the correct answer. The main, for 4 years, students actually avoid that entrance. They go through other entrances in the same building.
Oh.
And they always take graduation pictures on those front steps because that's the first time that they feel safe that they're not going to fail because they already passed. And so that's when they first go to the front steps of the building. So
Wow.
yeah, it's a tradition. It's a Notre
You
Dame
have
thing.
to channel Regis Philbin. He loved Notre Dame,
Did
right?
he?
Yeah.
Oh, because the football team probably.
yeah, you have
Oh,
to.
no. And I used to watch Regis and her talk about Notre Dame all the time, but we never mentioned about flying marshmallows, leprechauns, or Hoosiers, so.
Did they mention the flying axolotls?
Woo.
All right, I just rolled a number 4. Now, number 4 is Vicky's number. Vicky.
Oh, that's
Good
right.
luck, Vicky.
Oh,
I'm gonna say the marshmallow. I mean, the movie Rudy is also based on Notre Dame.
Yeah, that I knew. So Hoosiers, I wasn't sure about. Yeah.
But I'm gonna say marshmallows. I don't recall that they have marshmallow fights at Notre Dame. They might, but I don't recall that.
So is that
I'm
going to
gonna
be
say that.
your final answer?
Yeah, it just seems odd, but it might be true because anything's possible.
Yeah.
But you're choosing that one.
Yeah, I am.
Well, Vicky, you should have thought about that answer some more because it is true that they have a video of it. There's this
That's
marshmallows flying.
disgusting.
Yes, I wouldn't want to be cleaning
Why
that
would you
stadium.
do
I
that?
know. I was just thinking.
What a waste of food.
That's
I-
really
Well,
disgusting.
it's marshmallows. Nobody wants to eat them anyway. But
That's true. Okay, Leslie.
Leslie, you've won, I believe.
So-
Oh,
so
what was your
there's
tie
only-
game?
There's
Let's-
only Hoosiers and Leprechaun left. Hoosiers was about a high school. high school. It was Gene Hackman, and it was about a high school basketball team, not a college, I think. I
Oh,
think. But I know that the mascot is a leprechaun, and a lot of people want it not to be a leprechaun. So I'm going to go with A, the
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers one. It was not Notre Dame. It was a much lesser known school.
Oh, wow.
So
I
is
think
that
you're right about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's.
final answer?
For the win.
Who's your little who's it? Who's your turtle dove? Who do you love? We love Leslie Oban Lake because she's the queen of
Excellent.
today. Leslie got the.
Not by much. It was a good fight today, ladies.
It sure
I
was.
was-
Poor Vicky. I'm sorry, Vicky.
Send us the
No,
food.
no, no, it's okay.
We're not
Yeah,
done with the game. We still have the trivia quiz, but Leslie did technically win the game. I want to let you know. You're
Not
right.
Even technically, she won.
good for you.
Thank you.
Those were hard questions.
Well, who's your,
Take anything away from Leslie.
I'm sorry, what?
But you see, Eva, why going second or third is better than going first, right?
No.
You have the benefit of other people's thoughts, and you have a smaller ground to pick from.
And listen, the first one, like if the first person gets the first question wrong, first.
Then it's up to grabs, and you get other people's thought processes.
Choices, Eva,
Right.
multiple choice answers to sort
That's
through.
why I said it was a very wise move that you picked third.
Yeah, well done. And she almost had it, but Leslie, you took it. Hoosiers was based on an Indiana high school. Did you know, though, that Shrek was made by guys who went to Notre Dame? And there are a lot of like secret. Little
Oh no, a lot of what they call Easter eggs in Shrek. Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, to Notre Dame in the film.
I used to know about that. I had a friend who went to Ball. It's called Ball U in Indiana. Ball State or Ball U?
And Letterman went to Ball State. Yeah.
Seriously, that's the name of the college.
I remember that when I was looking for colleges, they were really trying to recruit people there. I got a lot of mail from them.
And I believe that it was in the town, the high school, I think was in my friend's town, which was Muncie. I'm
And
not sure if that was the right town or not, but I remember him talking about it. So I knew that it wasn't Notre Dame. That's,
Joyce.
I don't remember sitting through that movie. I would have found it excruciating to sit through a movie about basketball, but you know.
Well, Hoosiers was a good film, but you know, Joyce went to Fordham University, and I begged her to get me T-shirts with like "FU" on them, but she
Yeah.
didn't.
That's
She,
you.
didn't.
I was the radio after Michael Bracken. I took over the radio spot as the critic for Fordham for
Wait,
about
Oh.
2 years. Michael, it was a once a week, 5-minute spot on a drive, you know, on the 10 o'clock news or the 9 o'clock news, whatever morning it was. And I remember, I mean, I had to get everything down. It was a real studio. And I had to get everything down to like 5 minutes that I wanted to say about the week. You know, I had to pick something great. Blah. It was very strange. And the woman I was doing it with did not know theater at all. So her questions were off the wall in order to, you know, prompt me and whatnot. It was funny.
no, I did.
I enjoyed it though.
I was on Fordham, right? I was on FUV.
Yes, FUV. When were you doing it?
Yeah, I don't even remember. It was when I was working at Playbill. It was like 1999, 2000.
Okay, well, it stopped with me because they ended any spoken word. They said, we're a music station. We're not doing it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they just took it off the air. Michael did it for several years. So you must have been pre-Michael because I took it over from Michael.
Much later on. Yeah.
How is Michael? I haven't seen him in a while. Is he good?
He's fine. He's following his acting career, as is Isa Goldberg.
Oh yes, I
Oh.
she's playwriting also. I
But
think.
Isa is still a critic. Michael has stopped as a critic. He is pursuing. He has 2 commercials on. He has he did a play out in Long Island. He's got he's up for a couple of pilots.
Oh, wow.
Michael Bracken is-
Hey,
Michael
great
Brett was a
for
very
him.
good looking guy, you know.
well, you know,
and
yeah,
his
you know,
photographs-
he's reviewing anymore either. It's Michael Feingold.
He's not. I know. Stop. You should have done a memorial to him. He
He's
was one of the nicest and best critics
He's
I ever
still
met.
alive, isn't he?
No, Michael
No, he
Feingold
just died.
Oh.
He did? When?
Michael Feingold died the beginning of this week, I believe.
Oh, he just died.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
very sad.
Oh,
Did you ever interview David?
I never. I tried to get him on one of the Tony shows. I had trouble trying to reach him.
Oh,
I didn't know. I knew he knew who I was. I knew who he was. We weren't.
Michael didn't play well with others. That was not his strong suit.
Oh,
But
I
he was
just know
always
him from
very
the
kind to me.
oldies.
He was always very kind to me, and I always enjoyed talking to him. He was just so friggin' smart about everything. He just knew everything
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he was the critic from the Village Voice for
forever.
3 decades.
And he won two George G. Nathan Awards, not one, but two.
He was a
Yeah.
very fine. I used to have trouble reading his reviews, and I used to say this at the O'Neill Center. I was like, he's a great writer, but you have to read through like half the review to figure out what he actually thinks of, what he's even talking about. It's like,
I love that. I love that about his writing. They gave him a whole friggin' page, man. We would get this much space, and they gave him a page. So let him write whatever he wanted. He was so smart.
and
He was so smart.
certainly absolutely was.
I know him from the Obie Awards. You know, you get to see him every
Yes,
year at the
yes,
Obie
of
Awards.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, a farewell to Michael Feingold. Not saying farewell to you guys yet because we haven't done our tiebreaker.
Oh,
Okay, well,
Yeah. So let's do.
we're a chatty group.
So tiebreaker means it doesn't matter. Leslie won. She won the game. But we have a question. We're gonna have fun answering it anyway.
Answer.
Here we go. And this
I'm
is.
slowing down in my chair. I'm getting shorter as the show goes on. Wait, I gotta sit up. Okay.
Well, here we go.
And I got my
You know
foot
what?
caught. Okay,
I'm
there.
gonna take, the light is really nice. Anyone look really smiley before we do this. I'm gonna take a picture. That should be nice.
Can I have
Let me
a
do
copy?
one more, just one more.
Send me a
Hold on.
copy.
Well, I actually send them to Dave.
Yeah, I do. And I post them when the
All
show.
right, Dave, well, send them back. Send them to me. Send one to me, please.
Oh, you betcha. You betcha.
And
So
me too. Me too. Me
Here's-
too.
Here's a
If
question.
they turned out, they may be crappy.
No, they've turned out really
I
nice.
swear to you, Vicky, those things are getting closer to you in the behind. They're moving. They're friggin' moving.
Well, they reproduce so quickly that those. So,
Hey, wait a minute, get out of here.
Did you ever see the Doctor Who episode with the crying angels, the weeping angels, they're called?
no.
I don't watch
They're
Doctor
stone
Who.
statues, and they suddenly appear behind people. And if you look at them, they can't move. But if you turn
Oh.
the back to them, they creep up behind you and they get you.
Whoa.
Oh, I like that.
The weeping angels on Doctor Who. You have to look them
I
up
will
on
have to look that up.
That's
Look
too
it up.
scary, Leslie.
So, Leslie, Doctor Who?
Oh,
Yes.
I don't really watch
Weeping
Doctor Who.
angels.
Doctor
Yeah.
Who?
Here, take your things.
I got it.
Yeah, I know.
Doctor Who.
There we go. Now, this question.
Oh,
is
did
a-
you say Doctor Who with a question mark? Is that
Yeah.
what you just said?
Yeah, like
I'm
like
sorry,
Doctor Who,
it
Doctor
wasn't
Strange,
delivered
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the
Doctor
director me.
Dementia. Yeah.
That's what I'm
Dave,
saying.
I'm gonna direct you on how to say that so that you get the line across on the lap.
Oh, let's do it now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you're talking about Doctor Who?
Yeah. Oh, haha, so funny.
All right. Okay, let's get to our question. This is a tiebreaker. So instead of answering it, everybody's going to write it down.
Which I can't.
Oh, shoot. So,
Well,
Vicky,
you
Oh.
can think it and then just say it.
say it. When I give a 3, 2, 1 countdown, Eva will.
Eva will say it first, and then
Hold
we'll
it up to the
we'll
camera.
put them up.
Yeah.
But
Does that work for you, Eva? So you
we'll
can
wait
say
for
the
you to
answer.
say it, Eva, and we'll put it up. We won't have time to write it down.
Right. And one of those photos I just checked did not turn out well.
Oh,
Wait,
So
But no,
that's
they
okay.
they should
We
they
will
should
do
write.
another one.
Oh
Wait, wait.
wait, they should write it down
Right.
and have it written down.
Well, exactly.
And
So
then-
ma-
That's what
and
we're
then
gonna
I'll
do.
say
We'll do.
something.
Right.
'Cause-
That's,
right,
that's
so-
what we're
so
gonna do.
wait,
It's
We
just
want
for fun.
So could you guys
know.
just say I've written down my answer and then I'll say it.
right. Exactly. Now, when I say 3, 2, 1.
We're overthinking this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why not?
Just
Okay.
ask the question.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay. Here we go.
You
Here's
can
the
tell I've gotten really comfortable being a part of this.
question.
Total in none mode. Ask the question.
The year was 1938. Born today in Ottawa is this comedian who debuted on the Judy Garland Show and whose discography includes 9 albums, among them Scrooge and the Stars, Politics and Popcorn, and W.C. Fields for President.
No.
Name that funny Canadian who still performs in Vegas and did an off-Broadway show last year.
Oh.
My
And-
mind's a
And
blank.
appeared on the he premiered on the Judy Garland show.
Yeah,
Is that what you're
I'll
saying?
listen to the question again, yeah. This is true, though. That is,
I am blanking completely.
Comedian. Now, we
I
don't know if
think
it's a
it's quite
man or a
show, but
woman.
I can't remember which one it was. Okay, I got it.
Right, read the question again.
read the
'Cause
question.
we don't know if it's a man or a woman.
I'm not saying. Born today in 1938 in Ottawa is this comedian who debuted on the Judy Garland show and whose discography includes 9 albums. Among them, Scrooge and the Stars, Politics and Popcorn, and W.C. Fields for President. Name that funny Canadian who still performs in Vegas and who did an off-Broadway show last year.
Boy. Hmm. Boy, that's a tough one. I mean, it should be easier. Judy Garland. In 1938. So somebody who's 84 years old. Yeah. So someone 84 years old. Comedian, 84-year-old comedian who appeared on an off-Broadway show last year. 84-year-old comedian off-Broadway show last year. It's still
I got it.
performing.
I think I got it.
Still performing. I don't know. I'm really blanking. I could say Lynn Miranda.
Good, you can write down, yes. Yes, you could. Or put down nunsforfun.com.
I could do nunsforfun.com.
Actually, you helped me out by saying 84-year-old.
Well, that's 1938, so I'm just thinking,
Yeah,
84
so
years.
if you think 84-year-old, it'll come to you.
Well, if the 84-year-old can walk, but yeah. Okay.
Still performing and did an off-Broadway show last year during the pandemic.
Well, yeah, the pandemic is still here. I mean, yeah, but true.
Yeah, but that's pretty gutsy. That means that person was 83 in last year and was still performing off Broadway.
No, I'm thinking of the wrong kid. If that's the age, I'm thinking of the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Well, let me know when you all have an answer.
Oh, I do.
So wait, don't say. Yeah,
No, I'm not. No, like I said, I'm going to wait till they have it written down. Then I'll say something.
Well, I have something in
I'll
writing,
read the question one more time and give a 3, 2, 1 count.
something that's been written.
And Eva will say her thing as you guys hold up the answers at the same time. But
Okay.
you guys don't say anything, Eva. But do you guys all have something ready? Or
Yeah, but it's wrong.
Yes.
Leslie, yeah, but it's wrong. Vicky, yeah, but it might be wrong. And Eva, you have someone to say, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'm going to read the question again. Born today, 1938, in Ottawa, is this comedian who debuted on the Judy Garland show and whose discography includes 9 albums, among them Scrooge and the Stars, Politics and Popcorn, and W.C. Fields for President. Name that funny Canadian who still performs in Vegas and who did an off-Broadway show last year. 3, 2, 1.
Bernie Couple.
What
Bernie Couple.
you're supposed to hold up your signs, yeah. Cousin Counters. Oh, David Steinberg, very good.
That's a good one.
It's a
Wait,
great.
like he did an off-Broadway show?
Bernie Capel was just
But he's
yeah. Well, Bernie Capel has a very good answer also. In fact, he was on this show just a few weeks ago with
Cal Linden.
to introduce him.
I had a second one. This was my second choice,
Let me see, I can't see. Wait,
Can't see it.
but he's too young.
curly-haired kid in the whole. No, come on, they weren't born in 1930.
That's what I said. So he was too young. That's why I switched it to David Steinberg.
Steinberg was a great, and he's going to be touring like in a. No, the answer. Oh my God, I stumped you guys. And there were clues kind of in the record albums too, like Scrooge and the Stars and W.C. Fields for president.
Dan Aykroyd?
No, he's not that old, is he? No.
No, he's not that old. He's probably another generation younger. No, there was a person off Broadway, and I thought Eva and Leslie might get this. He didn't do an off Broadway solo show. It wasn't like that. He was in a play that utilized his very special talent.
Well, that's what I thought was going to be Bernie Kopel. I was thinking of Old Jews Talking because of 84-year-old.
Nope, guy's not Jewish anyway. No, his very special talent, because he could do an album called Who?
He did
Oh, he could do was he W.C. Fields?
Right. So
He
what?
played W.C. Fields off Broadway in a play.
He
Don't
didn't
know.
play W.C. Fields on the play,
No.
but on the album he could do W.C. Fields and a lot of other people.
Was he Groucho Marx? Was
Is
he?
Rich Little still alive?
Rich Little.
Yeah.
It is Rich
I
Little.
didn't know he was still alive, to be honest with
He
you.
was
was
in a
an
show
off-Broadway
last year.
play.
Yeah, last year he was in a show called The Impeachment of Richard Nixon.
Oh,
I
how
never
great.
saw that or heard of it.
Yeah,
Neither did I.
he ran for a couple. Did not get good reviews at all. But
Who was the press agent? I never got a release or anything about that.
it did.
Oh, neither did I.
Okay, wait, let's smile again. We need one more good picture.
Rich Little's 84 years old? Wow.
I'm surprised he's not older.
That's true. I used to
I'm
watch him on the
trying to
inside.
walk around.
So.
For
Is smiling, or are we done this?
done. Okay, good.
All
Stop
right.
smiling.
Yeah, no, he's still around. He's still alive. He's still performing in Vegas.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that.
I
Yeah.
saw him interviewed I guess it was last year. I saw him interviewed and I thought he was talking about how hard it was sometimes to get into clubs.
I would think so. He's of another, not just one generation, but many generations.
Well, they
away
had him host back when George W. Bush was president, and everything was already turning like incredibly polarized and political. He purposely picked Rich Little to host the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
I remember that. Yeah.
And the reviews were like, "Oh my God, why is this guy doing like old shit?" But it was like, it was nice, Not everything has to be Colbert versus Greg Gutfeld. It can be Rich Little. It's okay. But
I don't think so
what do you mean?
anymore. I think it's dated. I mean, he's a nice man and all that, but I think his material is dated. He didn't move along with the times, really.
Well, also these young people, they don't know Cary Grant or James Cagney
Exactly.
and Humphrey Bogart,
The thing.
Exactly.
which was his specialty.
Yeah, his Kanye
Had he
imitation.
just continued to expand his bag of tricks, that would have been fine, but he didn't.
Well, are our voices that memorable now? That's a fair question. Like, whom do you imitate? What does Tom Cruise sound like? What does we know what Barbara
Yes,
Streisand.
and they're not memorable voices anymore either, except for one or two.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear Taylor Swift on the radio and know it's Taylor Swift, but can you imitate her?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even know what her voice sounded like.
Right. So it's like I'm wondering if we've lost the unique, really memorable voices of stars.
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe we have.
Yeah.
I believe
I
it's
mean-
become very homogenous,
I know.
very homogenous
Well, I'm
indeed.
straight, but
We need another Christopher Walken.
is it
Everyone
another-
does great Christopher Walken voice.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Right.
fun to imitate.
You could do all the talk shows hosts. They have distinctive voices. And mannerisms. So you could do
They
Colbert.
all do voices. They all do.
They
the
all do
president.
voices
They
themselves,
do
right?
all of that stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, 'cause
I know the voices today are TikTok stars and YouTube people that we have no clue who they are.
No,
So maybe there's impressionists who are 20 and 30 years old.
who are doing YouTube people. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing a little peep. I'm like, oh, good for you.
Right.
Yeah,
TikTok people.
Yeah.
Well, tick-tock, clock is ticking. We've got to move on with the show, but not before we thank such wonderful folks joining us on this Thanksgiving holiday edition of Dave's Gone By, doing the Today Yesterday quiz. And we thank especially Eva Heinemann for coming back to us in not a special theater show, but actually just joining us to play the game.
Which
all
is fun.
which is, thank you.
He played with us before.
Yeah,
I know.
with David Short and you.
Right. Right.
David's on
We
the
haven't seen
phone.
David in a long time now.
So Eva, what's new on High Drama? People can still watch it on Manhattan Neighborhood Network, right? And what's the
Yeah,
link?
and YouTube. I mean, mostly you should see on YouTube. It's Eva Heineman. Go to Eva Heineman, not the anime, not the Japanese anime character. It's Eva Heineman on YouTube, High Drama. I'm
There's
also,
a Japanese anime, Eva Heineman?
yes,
I've gotta
there
see
is.
that
It-
one.
I'm looking that up.
Yeah,
I
Google
looked
and
it up.
No,
look
when you
at-
Google Eva Heineman, the first thing that shows up is this Japanese anime character. And at the anime convention, I asked the press agents, I said, is the monster people going to be there? I've always wanted to meet them. I'm like, do these people know me? I mean, she's a daughter of a doctor, which is what I am. And
Oh
apparently
my
she's the real BITCH. So I'm like,
Oh my
oh,
God,
okay.
Eva, do you know?
Is
Excellent.
it spelled the same way, Eva?
Yes,
Two N's.
with two N's at the end. It's the most bizarre thing. But yeah, go to Eva Heineman High Drama on YouTube and Facebook. And I'm still on Twitter.
Are you still on Twitter? Yeah, for a
Yeah,
while.
it's called 6_second_review on Twitter.
Wait, do that again. One more time. What? Again.
6_second_review on
Six-
high, 6 second review.
Yeah, Charlie.
You can
should
still
try
pick
1
us up.
minute reviews. I don't want to be part of that.
Well, fair enough. But Leslie, how can people watch Two on the Aisle with you and Charlie?
Okay, well, we finally got another show together. We strung together a couple of our YouTube reviews. So MNN has a new show. We have 1776, Death of a Salesman, and Leopoldstadt. And then we have our tribute to Susan Schulman, the
Oh, right.
press agent.
I was so
that's
sad
the
when she
show that's up
died.
now. And all of those are also up as single units online. And Charlie did a very interesting, I think it was 1776, I don't remember now. But he did it 1 minute, he wanted me to do them too. And although I can do it in a minute, I don't like the format. Eva, I'll go back and look at your 6 second ones, I'll see how that works.
Actually, I can do it 2 seconds. Yes, no. It's 1 second. I can 1 second review. 1776.
By
Maybe.
the time you say the title, it's over, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh
that's
my God, here it is. Can you see? Can you see this Eva Heineman anime?
Yeah, there I am. Monster, see?
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's weird.
Monster.
Well,
Oh,
so far there's no Vicky Quagga
independent,
anime.
superficial, bossy, and loud.
Yet.
Oh my God.
There will be.
There will. So, Vicky, you're so busy this time of year, of course.
I am.
So, remind
I am.
people what they can see this weekend and next at the Greenhouse Theater in Chicago.
Well, this weekend we start we start Christmas bingo. So I'm doing tonight, tomorrow.
Mhm.
And then actually the weekend after, even though for the rest of the year, we're also doing late night catechism. I'm sorry. The rest of the year, we're doing 3 Christmas bingos a weekend and 1 late night catechism. So 4 shows.
Wow.
But I'm basically traveling. I'm going to be in St. Louis area next weekend, doing Christmas bingo at
Right.
the Wildy Theater, which is in Edwardsville, just across from St. Louis.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be in the LA area at the La Habra Depot Theater for 4 performances on the weekend after, on the 9th, 10th, and 11th. And I fly to Astoria or Portland, Oregon, drive to Astoria, and I'm at the Charlene Larson Performing Arts Center in Astoria to do 1 performance.
That's a long drive to Astoria. I'm telling you.
I'm
Why
not
don't you-
driving it. I'm just flying.
That's
Yeah,
a New York joke. He's making a New York joke.
I know.
Do you enjoy that, the road, being on the road?
I do, only because I like meeting other people, and I like seeing different venues and different setups. Yeah,
Are the audiences different?
they are. They're very different. You know, the best and most interesting audiences are the ones for fundraisers, because they are there to support their school or church
Right.
or their,
Right.
and it's usually a pretty big audience, and
Mhm.
they're there for fun. You know, so those I think are the better ones.
Well, have a wonderful time. I will be away next weekend also, but I'm not doing a show. I'm visiting my kids.
Yay, yay. So it is wonderful to see all of you. I'm very thankful on this Give Thanksing episode of
Yeah.
Gone By to have Eva and Vicky and Leslie, all as friends and friends of the neighborhood, and my darling adorable wife playing the outro music there.
Oh, guys.
Throw some kisses, give some waves, and we'll see you soon in the neighborhood. Thank you all so, so much.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Dum, 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 dum. Keep kissing, keep throwing, hugging, and oh, there we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is 11:15 in the morning in the neighborhood. I'm Dave Lefkowitz, of course, you know that. And this program is called Dave's Gone By. You know that too. Our archives are at Dave's Gone By. Let me get to the beat. Hold on.
Wait.
Ooh,
This
that's a
one.
fast one. Gotta go to davesgoneby.com. Gotta watch my archives now. Gotta see my entire older shows. Gotta see the interviews too. You can go to castbox.fm and listen to the audio shows. Or you can go to archive.org and see more and more. Oh my God, there's a reason I'm not on Whose Line Is It Anyway.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. But
That was a very competitive game. What a good.
But they were
a good
great.
team. Yeah.
competitive, but not in a, they were all very supportive.
Yes,
And
yes.
yay. I can, yeah, I'm growing breasts from all that estrogen. It was wonderful.
There's
So,
the show I watch about the nun detective. One of the nuns was like pretty rough, had a rough life, and her brother was a criminal, and he hid in the convent, and he used potatoes to stuff his
Really?
nun bra. Yeah,
you didn't yell for me to go
I
see
did,
this?
but you didn't hear me.
No!
And then he was outed because he was talking to the detective,
Yeah.
and one of the potatoes fell out.
See, he should have done the smashed kind. Those are, you just point them
I'm
at crap.
hungry for that now.
Well, no
That's
kidding.
good, yeah.
Who
That
isn't
sounded
hungry for
good.
that? We were talking about, they had the best French fries ever, like 3 weeks
Oh my
ago,
God, yeah.
at some fair in, at
It
a
was a
church.
food. The man said he converted a tiny food truck. It was like a quarter of the size of a regular food truck. It was very
Yeah.
small.
I wonder if we can follow him, like see him and
I don't
strive
think.
to
I
where
think
he
he
is.
said he doesn't do that much anymore. Like he does more catering and stuff. Yeah, yeah. Maybe the next festival in December will be there. I don't remember what he told
Wow.
us.
Because, they're fresh, but they weren't crispy, but they were still
We
amazingly
should have
good.
gotten the chicken
Oh.
wings if we go earlier.
The vinegar, the salt. Oh my God, I'm drooling now. Well, I'm drooling because I'm 58 years old and Jewish, so it's like I'd be drooling anyway. But ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the 872nd episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio Podcastio Programmio of the Stream with me, Dave. This thing!
I did not touch it.
I know
I
that.
did not touch
I
that.
did
You
not
saw
touch
that.
it
Okay,
either.
okay,
It just does stuff. We bought the haunted
Remember
thing.
when we were living in New York, we had the haunted intercom. We bought those intercoms to talk up and down, and it would just start going like, "Wah!" and it would just, yeah.
Yeah,
It
that
would
was right.
channel, yeah.
So I was at this store. I was talking about this store earlier with the axolotls, the 5 and under. And I go there this last time, and I don't buy the axolotl coloring book. I'm so proud of myself. But I do get
Oh,
this
you
thing.
have your the piccolo you don't like.
Oh, I know. Piccolo is good, but the kazoo, worst kazoo ever. It was like $2, but it is still even for $2, they could do a better quality job of kazoo-ness than this. Doesn't do
That's
any.
backward, I think.
Oh, it would help if I take it forward.
Now hum.
Well,
That's better.
It's a staticky. It's not a good sound.
What was it, $1.50?
$2.
Oh.
That doesn't sound like a
Let me play along
kazoo.
with you. Hold on.
What? Pick a song, right, or yeah.
Okay.
What do you got? This is the latest Kendrick Lamar tune.
Now we can hear it.
Hold on. But you know what? We didn't bring out. We have to bring out
What?
because even though
I
that
don't
was a
see
waste
it,
of
I don't
money,
see it.
that kazoo was a terrible
I
waste
didn't
of
see
money.
it then, did you?
Oh, this thing. This was one of the hells of my childhood. And I've had so many. But in like second, third, fourth, fifth grade, we didn't take piano lessons. We didn't have guitar or anything like that. No, they made us all take out these recorders. And it was dark brown. It didn't look like this, but otherwise it looked like this. And you had to learn, and we just, I cannot imagine what it must be like to be a music teacher in 4th grade and have to hear like 20 kids going,
David, oh my God. David, my eardrums blew out.
I'm telling
I
you,
don't ever do
there's
that.
no way to even,
I think you have tape on the front.
I do, because it has a saliva stick. So if you leave the tape off, this thing comes
no,
out.
you're supposed to clean it. You don't leave it in there.
Well, where do you put this and not lose it?
After you're done playing, you clean it. You
Yeah,
don't play
well
with
now
it
I've
in
got,
there.
I have 2 things
Now,
instead of
now
one.
why don't you go play it now? It'll sound
Let's say,
better.
oh yeah, it'll be better now. It'll be so much better
Wait,
now.
hold on, wait. Wait.
I remember the recorder I had when I was getting out much lower notes and lower tones. This is not like, but you can make a noise with it. Oh, that's all right. There, finally.
Okay, please stop.
Oh.
Please stop. Please, David, please. Put your thing back.
James Galway is turning in his grave and he's not even dead.
I
Actually, I
know.
think he is. But and so now we give it the enema. Now you gotta go into the asshole and the foot and go like,
Tape it in.
Well, I did. Wait, now I gotta put the tape on. But yeah, not the high quality flute, which probably when my parents bought it for me as a kid was probably $8 back in the day, in literally 1968, right, or 69, 70. But whoever thought of this? This is an instrument, man. But at least this was worth $5 just for that.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So, bad kazoo, decent flute, and of course the haunted keyboard. These are the things Dave gets. Should have gotten the axolotl. Now that I think of it, they had an axolotl there too. A toy axolotl. They did. I think I showed it to you, but I didn't get it.
Yeah,
I
you should've
didn't
bought that
get
too.
it, and it was only $5. I should have. Why did I get it? What's the matter with me? Anyway, what are we doing? We're doing
I don't know
the
what
episode.
segment.
I told you that the archives are at davesgoneby.com. I don't think I told you that my written archives are available at davelefkowitz.org. So if you're interested in anything involving the radio show or the audio or video archives of this program, go to davesgoneby.com. If you want to read my plays, if you want to read my theater reviews, if you want to read my song lyrics or articles I've written, interviews, all of that stuff, the funny Colorado limericks that I do every week, those are all at davelefkowitz.org. Either way, just love to have you in the neighborhood, not just 9 to noon on Saturdays, but all week long. We have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned coming up, where we're going to Otis, Colorado. But before we do, are you feeling criminal, hon? Do you feel a little?
I'm actually very tired, but I'll do it.
We're doing some criminality, ladies and gentlemen, of items or articles that appear every week in the Greeley Tribune newspaper, real actual newspaper from Greeley, Colorado. It usually has more serious stories in it than this, but it does have a couple of funny, intentional stories twice a week. Or I'm sorry, each one once a week. They're 2 different columns. I'm tired too. So you've got Cop Log, which has to do with phone calls that come into the local police department from people who see weird stuff going on in the neighborhood. And they're like, hey, police, there's a deer pooping over the fence. Please send a cop car. These are real. To Mike Peters, our friend of the neighborhood, going through the newspapers from 1922.
Wow.
And looking for cute, funny, nostalgic items in the rearview mirror and going, this is what was published in the paper in Northern Colorado 100 years ago. Well, we mix up both of those items to create something that we call our Greeley Crimes and Old Times. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Greeley Crimes and Old Times for this week. And again, these are items that were literally coming from columns in the Greeley Tribune newspaper. So we start, as always, with New Times was something that happened in the neighborhood, phone calls that came in to police dispatch a week or 2 or 3 weeks ago. These are real, honest to gosh. Are you ready, dear?
I'm ready.
A caller on 14th Avenue.
Ring, ring,
Oh,
ring, ring.
and let me get that. Hold on.
Ring, ring.
Yeah. Yeah, hello? I gotta use my ear trumpet here.
Ring, ring.
Hello, caller. The caller, oh, really? A parent of an elementary school student came into the school acting aggressively,
Ooh.
yelling at staff, and making sexual gestures.
Oh my God.
You know, I hate it when R. Kelly comes to parent-teacher. That's just so
Not
wrong.
good. No.
Oh my God! I put my kazoo down on the desk,
Yeah.
and like saliva just
David, here.
spittled all over the desk. Thank you.
Wipe it.
Ew. All right. Just.
It's on your shirt now too. Just
Yeah.
put it on the floor.
Yeah. All right.
I like that.
God. All right, here's another crime. You ready for some more crime? Here's some crime. Oh, by the way, you missed the whole beginning of the thing where I was talking about the word bubble. Can
Okay.
you say it with me like that? Bubble.
Bubble.
No, don't just say bubble. Say like let your like droopy
Bubble.
dog. Bubble.
Bubble.
Yeah,
Bubble.
bubble.
I can't say like
Bubble. 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 I'm bubbled. A caller on 12th Avenue.
ring, 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 ring. I gotta have a call.
Let's see if that one works. This is an interesting ringtone. Okay. Oh, I'll get that. I'll get it. Uh-huh. A caller on 12th Avenue said, I got it, hon. Wait, bad connection, 1 sec. Oh, okay, better. A caller on 12th Avenue said, a man in a hazmat suit was grinding down cars behind his house, and the caller could no longer enjoy his backyard. You know, I think it's bad enough when Jay Leno works on cars in his own yard, but when he's going into bed, I don't know. But at least he's wearing a hazmat suit. That makes sense now. You might as well keep that going because there's another call. We have call waiting, so I'll pick up that other one. Yeah, hold it. Okay, gotta call Verizon for the wiring on this thing. Yeah, hello. Okay. A caller at a coffee bar on 17th Street reported employees did not feel safe after an old man wearing glasses came in,
Yeah.
took shots of alcohol,
Wow.
and rested across the couch. Because nothing's more terrifying than a little old man with glasses having a beer and being like, I'm gonna go to the couch.
Wow.
It's like Grandpa Simpson.
What's this world coming to?
I know. Can't even get a drink. There's so many calls coming in. Hold on. I'll get this one. This is my, it's my axolotl phone. Hold on. Yeah, hello. Oh, really? Remember, these are calls coming into the police department. A caller on Weld County Road 17 reported 2 cows were missing. No further details, no nothing, just 2 cows missing. Oh well.
And his neighbor was having a barbecue.
Actually, I should have gone to the coffee shop because then they would have decaf. That's a cow joke right there. Oh, someone's knocking on the door. Oh my God. Okay. I'll get it. Yeah. A visitor on 4th Avenue said the stained glass window at church was broken
Oh.
and had bullet holes.
Oh my God.
Finally, someone brought the getaway car for Jesus. I think that's great. That's fine. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, no, this is old times. This needs different. This needs like mellow sort of, because now we're going to find stuff that was 100 years ago. Oh my God. God. Frank Field, no relation to Frank Field from
The newscaster,
Weatherman.
yeah.
Yeah. But Frank Field, 100 years ago, was secretary of the Weld County Credit Association. Well, yeah, it's true. He told the Greeley Tribune yesterday that Greeley is not as dull as Loveland, Longmont, or other surrounding towns.
Wow.
He traveled through several towns recently as part of a 5-month visit to the modern Woodman Sanitarium. So, You would figure if he's on his way to a sanitarium, he would want to pick the most boring town to be in. Oh, unbelievable. Oh, this needs sad. This is terrible. This is sad. This is unbelievable. From 100 years ago.
Okay.
What do we need here? We need oh my gosh, I'm not even sure what sound or what object should be. Oh, this. Here we go. All I can say this is no. The crew under Weld County Deputy Pest Inspector Ross Lane have killed hundreds of prairie dogs this year from all around Weld County. They've cleaned up 12 townships and have 4 more to go.
This is the VKG. VKG.
It's so sad. Yeah, so they got rid of prairie dogs in Greeley forever.
No way, Jose.
Uh,
They're back.
I know, but imagine killing hundreds of them. And I'm literally, for the past
They're
month, I've
so
been reading.
sweet.
I
They're
know.
little sweet creatures.
So
So
cute.
sweet, so sweet.
And it makes me think, you mentioned Camus before, or somebody or Leslie mentioned Camus. I've been reading The Plague, and the whole first chapter of the book is just rats, dead rats turning up everywhere out of nowhere. And now I'm thinking of them, I'm thinking of these poor little prairie dogs that are smoked out and poisoned. Okay, I'm happy again. Music does that. It's just like, I'm like, oh, prairie dog, yeah, it's okay. All right, next item from 100 years ago. A 4-year-old boy, trick-or-treating on Halloween, fell into a ditch, and was carried for 3 blocks by the irrigation water. Police and firemen rescued him. That's a kind of adventure for a little kid, like just going through the irrigation ditch and sluicing down. What was that, like
He's
slalom?
lucky he didn't get hurt.
Well, yeah, wait, they don't say. Oh, he died. No.
No.
One more old-timey thing.
Okay.
Here's an advertisement for the upcoming election in today's Tribune. It states that Walter O'Brien, Democratic candidate for lieutenant governor, is against prohibition. Democrat against prohibition. The ad asks, quote, "Do you want to honor this type of man?"
Ooh.
And we think politics is ugly today.
Man, that's a low blow.
Oh my God. Anyway, let's go elsewhere. Let's do, do you have any hockey music? Hit somebody! Hit somebody!
Where's the volume?
I don't know if this has a volume thing.
Yeah.
This thing, oh, it does it? Oh, there it goes. There it is. So this comes to us from Canada. This is a real story from just a week ago. Love this. Reported, of course, in the New York Post. 11-year NHL, National Hockey League, veteran Jonathan Huberdeau left the Calgary Flames bench in the middle of the first period last Saturday. Hockey fans were nervous but confused when he returned to the game, not nursing any kind of injury. Said Flames head coach in the press conference after the game, Daryl Sutter said, quote, "I think he had to go take a shit."
Ah!
Actually, video of this. They asked him, like, where did he go? It's like, I think he had to go take a shit.
Wow. That's classy.
Isn't it?
That's classy.
Twitter exploded, as did Huberdeau,
Yes.
after the press conference. For example, Mismanaged wrote, "Of course he had to leave the ice. He would have gotten 5 minutes for committing a flagrant foul."
Oh.
Julie Mills wrote, gives new meaning to the phrase dump and chase.
Oh.
And of course, people were now dubbing the athlete Pooperdeau.
That's cute.
Hey,
That's cute.
mine was Huberdeau.
Oh. Did he ever respond and say what he did?
I haven't really followed up on this, but I just love the idea that, it's after
But
the
he could
game.
have also had to do a peeper.
Could have done anything, but the guy, I think I could take a shit. What a great coach. The coach is like, 70-something years old and doesn't give a shit,
He doesn't
literally.
care. He's like,
Like,
whatever.
whatever, you know. Not.
Did they win? Did his team win?
I think they lost. I'm not sure. Yeah, they played crappy, I'll tell you that. Oh, thank you very much. Let's get back to some criminality, shall we? We shall. Ah-ha! Ah-ha!
What segment are you on, honey? Because it's almost 12, right?
Well, yeah, we got, I'm finishing up Gridley Crimes and Old Times. We have our Friends of the Neighborhood, and then we've got Colorado Limerick of the Dam, and then we're done. So, got a bit more to do. Yeah, thank you. Oh, God. That's, you know, if we're thinking of Sartre with hell as other people, no. Hell is audio devices that just keep like playing the same thing over at the high pitch. Or, where's that flute?
No more flute.
No more flute.
No more,
flute.
no.
No more flute. All right, here we go. Back to modern times criminality. A caller on 15th Street said people were using the property for their bathroom and leaving feces throughout the night.
Wow.
What a
Throughout the
dump.
night. No, but throughout the night, that requires coordination.
I know, right? It's
Like
like-
people just going in and out and,
I think that there's a relay sort of a thing.
oh yeah, like your turn.
Here,
Maybe
here's the
hockey
bag.
Player, the hockey player. It's like,
Yeah.
Where is that place?
Oh, man. But leaving feces throughout. I'm hoping that leaving it in, I don't even want to know.
I don't know.
No.
That's too messy.
By the way, a caller on 23rd Avenue said
Ring,
a
ring,
customer.
ring, ring.
Oh, yeah, I'll get it. Hold on. I'll use my other ear. Yeah.
Wait.
Okay, I got it, hon. On 15th Street, said a church attendee took on the identity of Old Testament personalities and was chastising current Christians for how they were living.
Wait, is this old times?
No.
Whoa.
This is recent. Somebody started playing characters in the Bible, in the Old Testament.
You could do that in church.
I don't know if this was in the church.
Oh, that's the problem.
I don't know if there's a church on 15th Street. And they said it was just chastising current Christians for how they were living.
Why,
Yeah.
isn't that freedom of speech though? I mean, they're
It
not...
is, but it's a little. How would you're walking along the street and somebody?
Maybe it's a theater performance, you
Could
know?
be.
Could be like an pop-up.
We were talking about Rich Little before. There are just too many damn Esau impersonators.
I'm Cain, I'm Abel. I'm Cain, I'm Abel. What's my motivation?
I want to get across the ocean, but do I really want to divide it, or maybe there's another way? Yeah. Oh my God! A caller. Let's see. A caller on 10th Street. Now here's the deal: if you're the bartender or someone at a bar, would you call the cops?
Okay.
In this case, almost feels
Is it the person on the couch with the shot glasses in the coffee shop?
could have been the same guy, but I don't think so. Caller on 10th Street said a man was telling people at the bar that he killed 17 people.
Whoa.
Would you call the cops?
Yeah, it's hard to say because you don't know if it's somebody just making up a story because they're
Yeah.
under the influence, or I think something like that I would tell because you don't.
Yeah.
Like it's not something like, you know, people would tell a story like Johnny Cash, I killed a man to watch him die. You know, like they
That's a
may
song.
no, but
Yeah.
they may make like a one of, but 17, like why that number? That's the weird part for me. Why would you pick a?
17.
You know,
yeah.
I don't understand why you would say that number.
So there, I would have the phone ready to call the police. You
Well, the
know,
bartenders must get some kind of training.
well, training, a gun, and a big old club. I'm sure.
Well, later on, I want to go get blueberries at the place where there's a can of peas, so we're ready.
Can of peas. If you missed last week's show, go check it out at davesgoneby.com. You'll hear that story and more. I don't know why I find this funny, but I do find this funny. A caller in your 34 bypass, which is, you know, a
You're
very,
Loveland, right? Yeah.
I guess, it's a very heartfelt place. 34 bypass, you know, heart
Oh.
bypassing. Reported getting hit in the head with a vape battery
Oh God! What a horrible thing.
after a driver threw it out the window. I told
How
you
would you-
vaping was
Yeah, but
dangerous.
how would you know it's a vape bat? Like, I don't understand. Like, if I got hit with something, I wouldn't know what does a vape battery look like?
Who
You
knew that you
okay.
needed batteries to smoke a
I
thing?
don't know. I didn't know.
I
Weird.
don't know anything
Yeah,
about.
I
I
gotta
don't
get
want to
s-
know about
I gotta
vaping.
get socks. My feet are freezing. Ooh.
I mean, it's just, and it's awful, you know, and you know,
It's very weird.
and I always thought vape was kind of the same thing as sexual assault, but you know, but you know. Anyway, let's do one or two more. So let's see, shall I make them old ones or new ones? I shall make them. Yeah, let's do one old one. This is from 100 years ago. A costume party for Halloween
Oh,
was a huge success in Gaelton.
nice.
Each female member of the
Yeah.
Gaelton Church Club, remember this is the writing in the newspaper
Mhm.
from 100 years ago. Each female member of the Gaelton Church Club brought $1 that she herself earned.
Ooh.
Then she explained how she earned it.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Well, the money was given to the church, and confessions were held for the next 3 weeks. It's like, how did you earn it, my child? My jaw is still stuck.
David, you heard that? I just want to.
I know, yeah. My child, how many of those men gave you a nickel? All of them. That's an old joke.
Well, I guess, years ago women weren't allowed to earn money, so it was a big deal.
It was a big deal. I
I
know.
wish we were back in those days.
Sometimes I do.
For me, I wouldn't have to earn money. I could just do stuff.
And I live off my salary.
Yes.
I'd still be an adjunct professor, except I'd be making hey, here's your $3 a week. Don't spend it all in one place.
Teaching at the normal school, baby.
They would never have me at a normal school, I'll tell you that.
You taught in a normal. That was good. The school was a normal school.
Technically, yeah,
Okay,
but look
go
at me.
ahead. I'm
Okay,
freezing
one
here.
more.
Oh, I took the garbage can in too,
Oh, thank you very much. No wonder you're cold.
and I did the
Yeah.
recycling. Yeah.
So here's the one more new time thing, and we'll move on to the rest of the program. A caller on 49th Avenue,
Oh,
excuse
boy.
me, reported that a man across the street was cussing at people,
Mm-mm.
busting the fence to his house, and setting things on fire.
Wow.
And this was just during breakfast.
That's a weird IHOP, right? Would you like a table, or would you like me to set your fence on fire?
Here's the table. Here's kindling. You can throw the table into the.
Hibachi.
Oh my God! And that, my friends, for this week is Greeley Crimes and Old Times.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool.
Oh, he was not.
I'm sure that you'll agree
Uh-huh.
with me that Greeley was no fool.
But he is getting and is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee hi!
Yippee-yi, 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 yi, yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
Yes, indeed. It is 11:45 Eastern Time in the neighborhood here on this lovely Saturday morning, November 26, 2022, our Give Thanksing edition of Dave's Gone By. I give thanks for my wonderful, darling, and adorable wife, Joyce, for helping with the show and with all sorts of other things during the whole week. And then I give thanks for viewers like you. I give thanks for having wonderful people playing the Today, Yesterday trivia game, like Leslie Hoban Blake, watch her on On the Aisle. Eva Heinemann, who hosts High Drama and has been doing it for
I
25
wonder what episode she's up to.
I
Like,
have no idea. I don't know if she counts or hasn't even enumerated, but imagine doing these like probably 40 a year. Yeah, I'll bet she does.
How does she keep it straight? Yeah.
Especially back in the day, they would have been on like these beta tapes that you had to do it
yeah.
public access, but God bless her. And God bless Vicky Quad. Well, God probably does bless Vicky Quad because she plays a nun, and you can see her doing Christmas bingo, excuse me, and late night catechism, both at the Greenhouse in Chicago this weekend, and then on the road all across like parts of the country the next couple of weeks. So don't miss any of that here in the neighborhood. So these are the great, wonderful friends of the neighborhood. But we have even more than that. We have folks who've been on this program, maybe not this week, but over the years, the many, many years that we've been doing the program.
Mhm.
We call them friends of the neighborhood, and we like to let you know, here's what they've been doing. Yeah. Tiddly-poo, piddly-poo, tiddly-poo, tiddly-poo, tiddly-piddly, piddly-piddly-poo. So just going to let you know a few things about people who've been on the show in the past. Here's what they're up to. For example, Karen Mason, Sally Mays, Annie Golden, all of them you can hear on the just released Volume 3 of Sondheim Unplugged from the Yellow Sound record label. So go hear them. They're doing classic Sondheim numbers on this series. And then you're going to want to see tonight the sisters, Ann Hampton Calloway and Liz Calloway. Liz hasn't been on the program, but Ann Hampton has. If you know the song The Nanny, you know who she is. They're both playing together at 54 Below this evening. Is that thing on again? It's my own music. Sorry. Here we go. Want to let you know that this Monday, Sophie B. Hawkins is going to be at City Winery in Manhattan over on 11th Avenue. So Sophie B. Hawkins, and you be going to Sophie B. Hawkins and see her there. On upcoming Tuesdays, this Tuesday and the week later on Tuesday, you can see David Bromberg at the Tarrytown. Oh, no, excuse me. I crossed one up there, sorry. Wilson Germain Heredia is at Chelsea Table and Stage on West 26th Street. That is this Tuesday night and also next Tuesday night. David Bromberg is going to be at the Patchogue Theater on December 2nd. And this Thursday, he's at the Tarrytown Music Hall on December 1st. And in between, don't forget that this coming weekend, December 1st through the 4th, TJ and Dave, the long-form improv duo, are playing at the Barrow Street Theater. They come, 2 or 3 times a year to do their stuff at the Barrow Street Theater. Very special talents, TJ and Dave. And even, I didn't even know this, in 2015, they collaborated on a book called Improvisation at the Speed of Life. So if you have any interest in the art of improv that goes even beyond, say, Whose Line Is It Anyway, you're going to want to pick up this book by TJ Jagodowski and Dave Pasquazi, who work on this together as TJ and Dave. Eric Comstock and Barbara Fasano are at Birdland this Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Get your tickets at birdlandjazz.com. Want to let you know that now through the end of the month, you can see paintings and drawings by Art Paul Schlosser at Mother Food Coffee in Madison, Wisconsin. And now through the middle of December, David Cale's play Sandra is at the Vineyard Theater off Broadway. Now through the end of December, excuse me, this closed, so I forget that. But Linda Lavin is in the play You Will Get Sick, playing now through mid-December at the Pell's Theater, which is a Roundabout Theater Company venue off Broadway. And now through January 3rd, Tuesday nights, Vince Giordano and his band, I think it's the Nighthawks, are playing at Birdland. Again, Birdland is on West 44th Street. On Broadway, remember that Funny Girl features our wonderful friend Tova Feldshuh. Hadestown features Lilias White. Alan Menken wrote the music for the Broadway musical Aladdin and for the off-Broadway musical Little Shop of Horrors, which is being revived off-Broadway at the West Side Theater and features our friend Stuart Zagnett. Jim Caruso's Cast Party every Monday night at Birdland. And reminding you that Evan Seplow founded and edits the wonderful website StageBuddy.com. Dr. Demento still doing new and old Dr. Demento shows at drdemento.com. Don't miss it. And it's like $2 for low fidelity, $4 for an episode for high fidelity, and you get to hear the good doctor. My gosh, with brand new Dr. D shows. And let's see, anybody else we want to give a shout out to? Want to remind you? Well, I still read every week or twice a week Phil Mushnick in the New York Post, who writes about the coverage of sports in media. He's a finger pointer, he's a moralist, and always a fun read. Phil Mushnick in the New York Post. And those, my friends, are the friends of the Neighborhood. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have about 10 minutes left in the program this Saturday morning. We've had so much fun. We did Grilly Crimes and Old Times. We had our Today Yesterday quiz. I talked about axolotls and Thanksgiving and all sorts of stuff. But time now to bring the tone down, way down. In fact, everybody asks me to tone it down when I do this, because it's time for the Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Joyce and I used to live for several years in northern Colorado. And for absolutely no good reason at all, I took it into my head to start writing a poem about as many towns, cities, villages, hamlets, or Horatios in Colorado as I possibly could. Well, we're well over 200 at this point, because every week I bring you one more brand new, disgusting, terrible, vile poem about a place in Colorado. And today we're going to Otis, Colorado, for our Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme. And likewise, verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick. Rocky Mountain,
Colorado, Rado, indeed. Christine Lavin, yes, ladies and gentlemen. So we go to Otis, Colorado, for our limerick this week. And so Otis is a small town of about 500 people that you will find in northeastern Colorado, named after pioneer settler W.O. Otis. It was founded as kind of a construction a construction site for railroad workers linking Lincoln, Nebraska to Denver, Colorado. And this past October, the Otis First Presbyterian Church held a potato bar fundraiser. So, if any place deserves a Colorado Limerick of the Damned, it is Otis, Colorado.
Nice.
Okay. Remove the children from the room, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, save this for the end. No.
Okay.
No. Save this. Oh, God, no. Ahem. A cheery cheerleader from Otis is someone the other girls notice. They call her the flower because in the shower, her pussy unfolds like a lotus. If you're going to send complaints, please send them to davesgoneby@aol.com. davesgoneby@aol.com. That is, I read pretty much every letter that comes into me. I don't necessarily have time to respond to everybody. You can also respond to me right on Facebook. Either post something under the show, or if you happen to be a friend on Facebook, of course, you can direct message me there, or whatever that's called. I also have a Twitter feed. I'm not necessarily boycotting Elon Musk for doing what he wants with his own company. So you can go to Radio Dave 2 to read my tweets, or davesgoneby@aol.com to email me. davesgoneby.com is the main website of the show. And of course, davelefkowitz.org is the place to read my stuff. You can also find our archives at archive.org, castbox.fm, our YouTube channel, and right here on this Facebook page. Well, this brings us to about 5 to noon Eastern Time here in the Maryland neighborhood, and the end of our 872nd episode of the show. Joyce, do you have anything you want to share or talk about? Or
No, I'm glad that you were able to do your show.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I had a couple of days off this week.
You could use that the kazoo to get rid of all your stuff for your drool.
I should carry kazoo constantly.
Yes. Is he vaping? No, it's a kazoo.
No, because Joyce always complains that I'm very expectorant when I talk.
Interesting.
We'll be in bed, we'll be talking, and I'm being like, "You're spitting on me." I'm not spitting on you, I'm talking. But she's like, "You're spitting on me." So now if I have a kazoo, I can just go and then talk,
Yes.
and no
I
spittle.
think it's a great invention. Maybe that's the benefit of it.
And when I'm 10 years older, there should be like a urine kazoo.
I promise you this week I'll try to get more axolotls for the family. I saw Vicky had a whole array of the little finger puppet axolotls.
Yeah, and they're $2 minus our teacher discount.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I think we can try to get a couple more. Vicky's display made me think they need friends.
that was so cool of Vicky to do that.
How did she find that?
I have no idea. She probably Googled finger puppet axolotl,
Wow.
and that would do it.
Yeah, that's a good one. So she's smart.
It'll bring up a lot of axolotls.
I hope she does a mystery with nuns. I would love to see that.
What a great idea. How come, nobody think it's like
Yeah.
murder mystery dinner theater with a nun solving the
Yeah.
you know, in a
There
monastery.
was also nuns and priests on TV, all sorts of shows like that. But it would be really clever, and she could change it up like with different characters and plots. Vicky could do that.
Serious and comic, but not.
And
It doesn't have to be
no,
sacrilegious.
But they could also get a like an audience member to be like a co-detective. Like that would be my thing. They'd come up and they could have audience members like do different roles in it. Like they could give them lines as a cop or as a whoever, and they could help them. It'd be really fun.
And it'll be really funny is like they go through all these suspects and
Yeah.
and then it turns out that literally at the end the solution of the puzzle is it was an act of God.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be great? Like
They
God
could
just
do
said, "I'm giving him a
anything.
heart
I mean,
attack."
They could do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Vicky could do something like that. I wish she would.
It'd be great. Well, yeah. Well, I wish we could visit Chicago and see her do her show. You can, by the way, can go to the Greenhouse Theater and see her do.
She's
Night
got a
Night
whole.
Catechism.
Go to her website. Nuns for Fun. There's a bunch of stuff she could do.
Nunsforfun.com. And of course, here's the fun that we have every Saturday morning. I probably will not be doing a show next Saturday. I can't guarantee it one way or the other, but I have a full week again ahead of me in teaching and grading and all of that. Might be a little difficult for me to cobble together an episode for next Saturday, but you never know. So check davesgoneby.com and our Facebook page. And if I'm doing a new one, you'll know by Friday. And so, tune in. It might be a short show, might be an hour, just for me to get on for an hour and go, even without a quiz or anything.
You play your piccolo.
I would play my piccolo. Remember last week, I'm just gonna go on for like an hour. I don't have a quiz.
3 hours.
And I had no quiz. I had nothing prepared except like the limerick. And we had some old, really crimes and old time stuff.
Good job.
And we still, I looked at the thing, it was like 12:05 when we were done. I'm like, how? I'll tell you how, because it's the neighborhood and everything can happen here. So have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to your mom and dad, to my mom and my other family members. Healthy, safe, good things for all of you. And what else? Anything else that we have to say to folks?
No, that's it.
Yeah, don't steal guns.
Yeah.
Or don't go smashing into stores and stealing any. Don't steal yogurt. Nobody drives a car into a yogurt store to steal yogurt.
Maybe, we don't know. That might be a new trend.
It might be. It might. If
Not
you have the
for
windshield
maybe
wipers.
lactose intolerant people might start,
Yeah. it's true. Anyway, you have a wonderful week and gone by.
Days gone by. Days gone by.
It's upside down. Yeah.
Show the feet.
Oh, I gotta make him wave. Let's get going. Uh-huh. Yeah. All the content of the show's done. This is like when Uncle Floyd would have Bones Boy come on at the end of the week because he had just nothing else to say or do. Oh, this is perfect.
Yes.
This music. Gone by.